me and Ryan have been officially welcomed to the jungle that is Barstool Sports.
I brought it toward the Coyotes, and I asked them if it was okay if I joined the Spittin Chiclets podcast full time.
Ryan Whitney got a pink Whitney out there now.
Hey, this is a sandbagger. Get that on camera.
Pete Yandel, the song man, is a full-time member.
Marley just got an assist from Chris Beach.
Whoa, we're buzzing right now. Sonk.
What's up, boys? What's up, girls? Anyone listening? Holy shit, the NHL's back. Tomorrow night, we get this thing ripping. It's another season. It comes, it goes, it comes and goes, but Pink Whitney never leaves. I know I got to shout out Pink Whitney. Pink Whitney, thank you so much for the show. Bang, Keith shows the bottle. Pink Whitney just represents, and this weather is not changing here in New England, busy. It's friggin' 80 degrees. It's supposed to be 83 degrees Tuesday. So Pink Whitney continues to represent the summer drink and then turns into the fall and then turns into the winter, and we drink it. And we drink it, and we mix it, and then we drink it some more. So shout out the big bottle. Yeah, go like, yeah, in the waves, on the ocean, on the lake. Or maybe when the lake freezes over and you're ice fishing. It still's out there. So shout out Pink Whitney, New Amsterdam Vodka. Thank you so much. Episode 585. Guys, felt like a quick off season to me. We're back.
We're right back into it. Wait, it sounds like you lost your voice a little bit. You've been screaming?
No, I haven't been screaming. I guess there's some yelling on the bench. Go, skate, shoot, pass. You know, the things you're supposed to yell that really probably help the kids, considering they have a millisecond to do it. If you yell it, it might actually help. Bend your knees, righty. Butt down, chest up. But, you know, I coach with passion, Biz. At least I try to. Tough weekend. 0-2 for the boys, and then 0-1 in the town game. So 0 for 3. But you know what?
We keep losing, baby.
Hey, peaks and
That's
valleys,
what we do.
baby. Peaks and valleys. That's life. I've been telling this to people over and over. Peaks and valleys. I've been in some enormous peaks. I've been in some giant valleys. So you stay even, Steven, and then you concentrate on your job. You concentrate on the podcast, and you don't worry about stressing about 7-year-old youth hockey, okay? So, yeah, my voice may be a little scratchy, but I'm ready.
What are the chances that Ryder ends up on a team that goes to the Pee Wee tournament, and you're like, this is the tournament that I won when I played Pee Wee hockey?
Those percentages right now, while being quite a few years away, are a little low. But
Okay.
you know, it's not going to
Keep
stop
screaming.
me. It's not going to stop me from reminding everyone that I won that tournament. Keep screaming.
You just scream it into them. You just got to let them know from the bench,
That
buddy.
usually works. Just scream at kids. They really respond well to that.
Well, you talked last week about him throwing the pizza, and then on the way to the bench, as you were giving him the stare down, he's like, am I going mini putting with mom after this? Was there any pizzas this week? Like any tough mistakes from Ridesy?
No, he's giving it his all.
Good.
I just, you know, like you hear Matthew and Brady Tkachuk say, Big Walt just told him attitude and effort. The only two things you can control. That's in life, boys.
Yes.
Literally. I think it's the only two things you can control.
My mom used to say attitude is everything. I used to have a poster in my basement, so she reinforced it.
Next to Carmen Electra washing the car.
And she'd also say, Lord, give me strength, because I would piss her off so much. So she'd look up at the sky and she'd make a fist. She said, Lord, give me strength to deal with this fucking asshole.
You strike me as a kid who was like allowed to have the bikini models washing cars posters in your room.
No,
Cam had one in his room.
No, I told the story before. Like I got my hands on like a Fox magazine. Like it was one of the, like, you know, like it would always have like the centerfold, and like she'd have like the cum target on her and shit, you know. But I had these.
Hockey?
Yeah.
No, but we are. But I had these pull-out drawers underneath my bed where I would hide the magazine. So no, there was no posters like that. Sorry, Ant. Sorry, buddy. He asked me about the posters.
We're not previewing the Atlantic Division. We're going over the best magazine issues of Fox or whatever. Yeah.
Best centerfolds.
Biz's top 10 MVP candidates, along with his top 10 hustler title covers that were ever released. So yeah,
no,
guys.
I'm celibate now, so I just had to get that off my chest. You know, those are.
I didn't want to remind you, because then it might trigger some old behavior. You know.
Yeah, that's right. That's true. But But what were you up to this weekend, Jans? More lacrosse? More? What were the girls getting into?
Yeah, had lacrosse, but no games, just practice this weekend. Yeah, pretty low key though. Got some stuff. Got the decorations out for Halloween, which top 3 holiday. I love Halloween; it's so fun. But yeah, got the decorations going this weekend. But kind of one of the last weekends. We got something going on in 2 weeks, and the kids lacrosse. The tournaments are starting up next weekend, so it's kind of the last weekend to really chill. Yesterday, I watched a ton of college football, which is great. And then just getting ready for today.
What was the highlight of the college football? Like what took that Arch Manning kid's kind of struggling a little bit. I saw that, unfortunately.
Yeah. I kind of feel bad.
It's more Penn State. Penn State's the joke. Now, we could get into the positive sides of Penn State, and we're going to do that later in the episode because we have a freak on our hands. We have a complete, full-blown freak.
It was in my city.
In GAVIN McKenna, who's not only nasty at hockey, which we all knew, he's a little motherfucker too.
He's a feisty motherfucker.
The horns down. He's talking shit. I really like that. But the Penn State football team, talk about a pathetic team. They lost to UCLA. I don't think UCLA had led a game for 1 second this season. They were 0-4 biz. Penn State was supposed to win the national title. They lost to UCLA. So all these Penn State people I see on Twitter, they're down bad. So it's on to hockey for those people.
And they've also lost back-to-back weeks, haven't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
They lost to Oregon.
They lost a big game and then a bad game this weekend.
So are they done? Like, is there no way they make that top 12 team thing?
Oh, man, it's tough in college football considering none of us know that much at all. I would say yes, because the UCLA loss will be that bad. Unless they somehow, I think they play Ohio State. I think
so that can get them back in the mix.
Maybe that could get them back in. Now, I could
something.
be making that up completely. But guys, I wanted to also mention my weekend last night was awesome because you guys know who Brett Young is, country singer? So I think pretty up and coming, getting bigger and bigger. He performed for the Thomas E. Smith Foundation, which is a foundation that it helps out people that are affected with spinal cord injuries. And so Jake Tebow was there. He was a big part of it. I believe he's part of the board of that. And they got Brett Young to come. It was at Park City, Biz, your favorite spot. So I was right back there.
I saw Jake there when we were there for Chiclets Cup.
Yeah.
And met a bunch of incredible people. Met a kid from Scituate, met a kid that knows Merle's real well that have had these just brutal injuries that and these they're such reminders of kind of resiliency and strength and attitude when we talk about attitude and just like attacking every day after dealing with the worst of circumstances. So it was incredible. This Brett Young guy was awesome. I guess he was a big time pitcher, went to Fresno State. Somebody's telling me blew his arm out, got into singing. He's 6'6", completely shredded, very good looking man. Like, I'm not going to lie. He went up on stage and like me and my buddies looked over at the wives. They're like, why are they all like taking pictures? Oh, I see. His arms look like the Rock's. And I guess he was a sick baseball player too. And then now he just sings and just loves life. So incredible night. And I wanted to shout out that foundation. And yeah, we were talking a lot of hockey. I ran into a lot of people. How the Bruins going to be? I go, you might not want to tune into the episode Monday where we go over the Atlantic Division because I don't have many great things to say. Now Gio come on and he'll talk about them and we'll get into all those teams. But the biggest news of the week.
He should be saying fucking tank for McKenna.
I don't know how you're not.
Yeah.
The argument is one guy actually, I shouldn't say I don't know how you're not because somebody told me how he's not. He told me it's just such a crapshoot. Tanking is such a crapshoot. You lose, you don't win the lottery. Boom, you get third overall. Like, and then what do you tank again for the next guy coming?
Yeah,
it's
and
like,
people are already saying that no matter what, he's going to the Penguins because Mario, you guys know that timeline. It was like 40 years ago, then 20 years it was Sid, and then now this year it'll be McKenna.
Yeah,
so
I think I said that timeline on this show.
Yep.
Oh, 20 years each, Biz. Yeah, shout out Wet. So I just can't get over. And I am so excited for the players in the National Hockey League and all the young stud 16, 17, 18-year-olds that are going to make this league and build this league moving forward because they're all going to make a shitload of money. I saw $17 million a year for Kirill Kaprizov. That is like not only record-breaking in terms of average annual salary and total dollar amount for the contract, but just more like a shaking of the foundation of the league and salaries. I think forever now.
Yep.
You're a top dog. You're a top 5 player in the league. You ain't getting less. Now, we'll get into McDavid and him possibly taking less and what that means, but it's not going to go backwards, guys. And I was so excited for him. I mean, he bent over the Wild in an odd sense because they had already told him, we'll give you anything you want. We've mentioned the blank check he had. So, Biz, initial reaction from you, what do you think?
Yeah, some people were saying, "Oh, this is going to, age poorly, and it's too much. He's bleeding his team dry." I don't agree with that. And you got to think too, like he wasn't making much money when he first came in there, and he was their best player, dominating. So he's got to make up a little bit for lost time. And I think that he's earned the right to get that money for what he's provided that organization. And also, I believe they're done with the amnesty buyouts. Correct? This year, those are off the books. So that's another reason why.
If they're not off the books, it's very low now. Like, it's not a big hit anymore if it is.
Yeah, so I think it's a totally fair number, and especially for a team like Minnesota where, like, who else are you going to give the money to? I don't think that they're going to have the ability to attract like big-time free agents, nor do big-time free agents ever really go to market anymore. And if they do, I don't think, no offense to people in Minnesota, like I don't think Minnesota is necessarily a landing spot. I love Minnesota. Like that way, I mean, if I had the ability to sign and they might be in my top 5 list, but I just, and another thing, he's worth the price of admission. Like he's a one-man band. Like he could play with 2 average players and still help drive a line. So when you have a like you said, probably a top 5, if not for sure, top 10 player in the league, and all of a sudden the cap's going where it is, and for what he's done there prior, including on years where he was making peanuts. Like now I believe he's in the last year of his $9.5 million deal. So he's being paid appropriately as we speak. But I think it was a no-brainer. And as you mentioned before, I think he knew exactly the type of leverage he had, not only from the owner's comments, but I bet you there was probably 10 teams that would have paid him what he just signed for, if not more. I've heard of one for sure. I heard Philadelphia was going to offer him whatever he wanted, and including like loaded in bonuses where it's all protected. So good for him. An incredible player, and as we said before, he's worth the price of admission. So yeah, I mean, I don't know how you feel about this one, but hard to disagree with what they gave him.
Yeah, I just think it's a great thing. Like you both touched on, great thing for the league, guys getting paid. What, you look at other sports, what guys are making, and I just think it's such a great step for these big dogs to get paid, right? And like you said, Biz, too, like to be in Minnesota, like Billy G's probably the best GM in the league. Everybody loves him. Everyone wants to play for him. But it's Minnesota. It's freezing cold for 7 months. Like they're not getting the guys that other teams can go out and get every year. So it's one of those things you have to pay the guys that you've drafted, that you have and developed. Like Faber, he's going to be the next guy that gets a monster deal. He's going to sign a huge. He'll probably be the.
He got one. He got the big one. He got.
And it's only 8.5.
Wasn't it only a 5-year deal though?
No, I think he signed a big one.
1, 2. He's got 5 more years.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, like he's gonna when his deal's up, he's gonna be the highest paid D man, I'm sure at that time. Like because they have to overpay to keep these guys. Like I think once guys go there, they love it, right? Like you see all these guys stay there. Like they love playing there. They love being in Minnesota. But it's it's a big number to look at. Like especially us. Like we were in the league when the top end guys were making like $6 million. So it's like looking at it right away is like, oh my God. But then you think about it, it's like I just think it's so good for the league, so good for these top end players to get paid what they deserve. And and you said it too, Biz, like he brings it every night. Like he's not taking nights off. If he's in the lineup, he's bringing it. He's bringing entertainment to your city. He's bringing entertainment every single game. So I think it's a huge win for both sides. And I really hope he didn't keep his agent when the owner of the team said, "Hey, you can have whatever you want." I hope he just said, "Okay, I'll handle
this one." Yeah,
I know. God, I didn't even think of that. Now he said no to the $16 million a year, and Minnesota's like, "All right, how's 17?" Like, and it probably would have continued to go up. And the main thing, the best question I saw that was posed in terms of why it was a great signing is like, "All right, do you overpay him or do you lose him?" Like, that's a no-brainer. Like all of a sudden, that organization, if he was gone, and I'm not trying to be mean, it'd be like, wow, like they're kind of a joke. Like they had this one game breaker that they somehow got in the 5th round, 4th round, whatever it was, and now he's not there. Now that could have been up to him, and it could have been out of Minnesota's control where he was like, I don't want to be here. But you keep going, you pay your superstar, and I think as long as he's healthy, he's a top 5 player in the league. That is a legit worry though, that he gets injured a lot.
And also, how many teams in the league where if you take away one guy, they go from being a probable playoff team to a non-playoff team? And I would say that they are up there. Like, I mean, they were at the top of the league last year, and I believe he was hurt for a little bit there. They now, mind you, they had a lot of injuries mounting at a certain point last year when all of a sudden they started dwindling where people thought maybe they wouldn't even make playoffs. They ended up scooping up I want to say the wild card where they ended up playing the first round? Vegas? Yeah, Vegas. So if they make playoffs as a result of him, then it's easily worth the 17. And I just kind of look at where he's at now. And then if you're an Oilers fan looking at Draisaitl making 14, thinking, holy shit, that is
no. All I thought
that is nuts.
I thought Rantanen in Colorado.
That's another one.
Like, holy shit, man! You could have just paid this guy $12 million. Rantanen, and that's like, I think it's natural to be like, are you fuck crazy? Like you signed that deal, and then you're all of a sudden like, wait, what? I'm a huge bargain. Like that's just how these guys are wired. That's how, I think top end talent, not just in sports but in entertainment. Like you want to be paid what you're worth. You see a guy you consider, you're even with. And you're like, wait a minute, he just got 17, I just got 12. So for me, it's more Colorado. You didn't want to just give him that, knowing what this landscape of this cap was going to do. And this is the first signing of showing us that these new cap numbers, which I've also read apparently will be like 113 next year and 120 the year after, where it was supposed to be 113 million in 2 years. Like could be even more than they're already saying. But by them coming out with the future cap, for the first time ever, I remember. I don't ever remember hearing like cap in advance 2-3 years. That was huge for the players. That's how he ends up getting this deal. I think.
I also it's crazy how much more the agents and players are in the know as time has gone on too. I mean, there was a time in the NHL where guys didn't even know what each other made, and they wouldn't talk about it either. Like that to me is mind-boggling. Where certain guys were obviously getting like big time bent over. I mean, the most famous one being, I believe that Bobby Orr was offered a percentage of the team, wasn't he? In Boston?
I think that's the story. Yeah, Alan Eagleson, just a dirtbag. And I believe he never even told them.
I mean, as we're going to talk about moving forward here, man, like even like Luke Hughes deal, the Lacombe deal, like these guys coming at eventually level even have these teams by the balls now, let alone like hitting free agency. So just a remarkable record-setting contract and also very, very well-deserved for Kirill Kaprizov.
Yeah, it's not like they're just giving him the money just to give it to him. Like he's proven himself every year. He drives the bus there. He puts asses in seats. So he deserves every penny of it. And his July 1 every summer for the next 8 years is going to be fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, we should pull it up.
It's like he makes like $1 million a year salary, right?
For the whole deal.
It's like 18, 18, 18, then like 16, 6, 16, 6. It's unbelievable.
Your financial advisor's like, yes. The rush. Imagine the Russian parties that guy's gonna throw.
Oh.
Like, forget needing Putin's card you're always talking about, Biz.
He's got his
own.
Putin's gonna be using his card.
So an incredible day for the.
Yeah.
18.1 every July 1st until 2030. Then it drops to 16. Base salary of $1 million.
He won't even cash those
2-week paychecks. You're like, oh man, you suck, huh? No, you got to see the one that they sent me July 1st. Minnesota wasn't done either. Probably like just as important of a signing, maybe if they're going to be the team that their fans hope they're going to become is their goaltender. And they locked up Philippe Gustafsson. This is actually, I think, a very fair deal for his career number, 6.8 cap hit for 3 years, I believe it is. Gee, check out that one for me. But a monster goalie They got him over from 5 years. Excuse me, 5-year deal. They got him over from Ottawa a few years back, and 2 years ago he wasn't great after a solid first year there. And then last year he was phenomenal. So I think they're looking at a guy who's going to keep getting better. And then I think Dustin Wolf, this deal he signed, going to be a hell of a goalie, but Gustafson's maybe proven it a little bit more and got less money. So, like, if you're a Wild fan on that one, I think you're thrilled with the number that he came in at.
Yeah, just more years there. That's probably why, for the longer security for Wolf. But yeah, he's worth this number, an incredible goalie, and it's I kind of look at him in that Swayman category, like a young up and comer who's got jam. He's ready to be a starter and lug the mail for probably 60 to 65 games. And he's proven that and had an awesome bounce back year, and the numbers tell him he's deserved that number. So it's good for Minnie though, man. Like they've solidified their goaltending. They got their defenseman of the future too. They got their forward of the future, and then some great pieces around them. I mean, even like the Boldy deal, like that looks incredible for he's a 40-40 guy, according to Billy G, and really he's proven that. So just some remarkable signings, and Billy G has really, really changed the culture since he's been there, and it's a testament to him and what he's building.
I think Gustafson's at that perfect age as a goalie. Like 27 is when they really start to figure it out. He's got a couple of years under his belt. Like that 27 to 31, you look at Bob, like he's getting better and better every year. Like the goalies get better and better. They age more well than players do, I think. So 27, I think, is when they really start to hit their prime. And he's a huge guy. He's got good big D in front of him. Like they should be poised to have a good year.
I love watching them play. And it's a different story when Kaprizov's out, but that building's electric. We were there for the Frozen Four. We've played in that building. Awesome fans. I want them to do well. And the good thing for their fan base looking at it, like, they got everyone locked up, basically. I mean, Zuccarello has one more season, and it sucks he's going to be injured to start the year. But Kaprizov, Boldy, Eriksson, Marco Rossi, they got Foligno 3 more years. They got 3 more years of Trennan, 2 more years of Hartman, 5 more years of Faber, 2 more years of Spurgeon, 3 more years of Brodin. Middleton's got 4 more years. So they pretty much have everyone done. We'll see what Zeev Buyem does this year, and then what he would need next summer. He'd be eligible to sign it. So, good job, Wild. Congrats to their fans. They got their guy. I was worried when he said no to 16. I'm like, he's probably, if he's saying no to that, like, he might just not want to be there, but he'll be there, and we get to watch him perform, and hopefully the Wild go on a run because we all love Billy G. I want to bring in Pasha now if that man is around, because the Devils, they made news, and in classic Whitney mush form. I think I talked to Pasha about 3 weeks ago. I said, hey, Pasha, what's going on here? You said he's signing today. He's signing today. I said, okay. And that day came and went, and then weeks came and went, and then I woke up and I texted the group chat. What day was it, Pasha? This past week? Maybe Wednesday,
This was
Thursday?
like Thursday. Yeah, Wednesday or Thursday. The timing was incredible.
It was like 6:30 in the morning.
You don't look like you've slept. You're out celebrating, Posh? You got bags under your eyes. Jesus Christ.
No, Pasha, hair looks great.
Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate that.
You look good. So I decide I'm having my morning coffee, and how is Pasha coming into my head? I don't know. I said, fuck Pasha. I said, hey, Pasha, what's going on here with Luke Hughes? You told me 15 days ago he'd be signed. And sure as shit, not about 2 hours later, you sent me Elliot Friedman's text. It was unbelievable.
No, not even 2 hours later. Like, I responded immediately, and then we were bickering back and forth, like heated bickering, and like literally mid bickering, I get the notification that he signed.
It was unbelievable. I started laughing out loud. I'm like, holy shit, I can even ruin this. I can even ruin my ability to talk shit that Luke Hughes isn't there yet. But they got it done, Pasha. All right?
Yeah. Congratulations.
Now I think the McDavid to the KHL take is more. I'll take that one now. I don't think the Hugheses are going to all be on the Rangers. He signed this deal.
Appreciate that.
7-year deal, $9 million. And right where the cap's going, if he turns into what you've been telling me he's going to turn into, Pasha, could be a bargain of a deal. I
also didn't say the Rangers like this year. I said that it could be down the road too.
6 years. 7
years. We're playing fantasy sometimes when we come on and we talk about this stuff. Now, wouldn't it be funny? Enjoy it while it lasts now, Pasha. But let's say the years go by and they don't win any hardware, and fast forward 6-7 years from now, and the three of them are all sitting, and there's a big Rangers banner behind them, and they all got Rangers jerseys on. So I'll let you soak it in and enjoy it for now, but let's not discount that could potentially happen.
Sure, but you could use that same argument. Let's say McDavid wins 5 cups in the next 10 years, and when he's 40, they offer him $50 million for one season in the K. By that logic, he could still play in the K on the back half too.
I love this. Hey, don't look at me. I was down with the McDavid to the K, and I've been getting all those bowl cuts sent over to me.
Yeah, I think it's a great deal. I'm surprised it took so long, to be honest. Like, I don't know what each side came in the negotiations at. I mean, I figured Fitzy would try and get him closer to 8. Luke must have been trying closer to 10, but I figured it'd come in around this number. And like I said in the group, and I think for this upcoming season, it's a slight overpay, but then for the rest of the deal, once he kind of continues to develop, it's going to look like a steal with the cap going up as well, just for what he brings. And if you go look at NHL.com and you look at his points, like solid numbers, like kind of mid 40s points the last 2 seasons, but that's him not even running the power play for the whole year. He kind of split the time with Dougie. So if what I think is going to happen, and this is probably going to be Dougie's last year in Jersey, if you have a full season of Luke running that power play, I think his numbers are going to be even higher. And, another chart, I know you love the, chirp me for the charts, but in terms of power play production, Luke was actually the most efficient power play quarterback in the league last year.
Was that because he was playing second unit and maybe playing against, or is that running the top unit?
I mean, the second unit gets like fucking 30 seconds at best.
There are no second units anymore.
Yeah,
I think that's a newer thing.
Yeah, exactly. So
you just said he wasn't running the first unit. So like, where was he?
him and Dougie.
Year.
But what I'm saying is, whoever was running it is playing 80%, 85% of that power play, regardless. But so yeah, in terms of points generated per 60, Luke Hughes was number 1 in the league last year. Lane Hudson was 2, Quinn Hughes 3. So he's very dynamic. He does have some warts in his game. He's 21. Naturally, defensively, he's got some stuff to learn, but just with that big frame and the way he can move, I believe he was actually the fastest skater in the league last year, defenseman, in terms of straight line speed. So the guy can move. He's going to continue to round out his defensive game. You mean
when they chart the miles per hour thing, like the speed bursts?
Yeah. Well, Pasha, you've told me that you think if full potential is reached, you think he's more dominant than his brother Quinn at some point in the league.
No.
You said that.
I did not say that. When did I say that?
Chiclets Cup 5 days ago.
Yeah, I think I was there when you said it.
I'm staying out of this one.
There is no
I do remember that.
I did not say that.
Pasha, you said it. You might have had a couple in you, but you said it.
I didn't have one drink at Chiclets Cup. I didn't have one drop alcohol.
Oh, here we go.
How would I
remember him saying it?
The tide's turning. We got Pasha stuffing Whit in a locker now. This is fucking nuts.
I would never say that.
Saying he didn't say it. You think this kid? When people black out and rage, and then they don't have no clue what happened. Talking about the Devils. This kid he turns into a mutant, and then at the end, you're like, dude, why is your shirt ripped and you have a cut over your eye? Oh, I was talking about the Devils.
Do you think that it's just going to be hard for them to move off of Dougie? And should they not do it sooner rather than later? Would that create a little bit of I don't want to say a rift, but doesn't it make it uncomfortable where if Dougie's not playing top PP unit, how useful is he at the money that he's making? He's making the same amount as Luke now.
I agree with that. I do think it's risky because I think the long-term plan is to have Nemitz fill that right-handed D-man shoes. And I think it's a risk. I think if they trade Dougie today, it'll hurt them for this season, but big picture, it'll help them. But I think Dougie still brings value, that right-handed puck-moving D. I think they want to see, can Nemitz continue to show what he showed in the playoffs last year? And if he does, maybe they dish Dougie at some point during the year. But I do think dishing Dougie today would cause a little slight step back for a longer-term step forward type
Would
thing.
you be willing to do so if Nemitz takes that step throughout the course of maybe half the year, where you can maybe get something nice in return for up front?
Exactly.
Where would you like to add on this team if you can get off of Dougie?
Elite top 6 winger for sure. They need a Tuck, a Raquel, a McCann. They need an elite guy that can just put the puck in the net.
So your dream would be to throw the absolute bag at Kyle Connor.
I don't think that'll ever happen, but yeah, that kind of guy. I mean, ideally a guy with a little more size, like Tuck.
Well, I'm trying to
McCann.
think of a guy coming up at least. And he
40
could be
goals. I
next
mean,
summer.
I know Connor's not a big guy. I feel like he's a big game player, and he ain't shying away
Well,
from shit. I love
evidently
him.
not a big enough game player to play the gold medal game for the U.S. to put Kreider in over him, but that's a story for another day.
Pasha,
Oh my
you were cheering when Canada lost at the World Juniors in Chicago with me. So now, like, what side you on?
Oh my god!
What does that
this
have
is
to do
getting
with
ugly.
anything?
This is getting
What does that
ugly.
have to
What
do
do you
with
mean?
anything?
You're chirping U.S. You're chirping Canada. Like, what team are we on?
I'm chirping the U.S. management and
Lebanon.
coaching decision to scratch a 40-goal scorer in favor of Chris Kreider in a series in a tournament. They need offense,
All right.
but that's a different
All right.
rabbit hole.
So basically, but back to your wishes for the Devils as they get this guy locked up, and you're saying now window began. Like windows, it was creeped open. You told me the last 2 years. Now it's open. So you would want like Tom Wilson as a winger for the top six. Like that's what you'd want. That's your dream.
I would love Tom Wilson, but he's
All
a
right, you're talking
unicorn,
like
so-
size. I'm trying to think what you want here. I'm trying to think of something.
I think like Tuck or one of those guys, like a big body that's a sniper. Like they don't grow on trees, but I think that's kind of what they need. And also a 3C. I see Grinelli in the chat should trade for Gino. One of my favorite players of all time. I would love to see Gino slot in as a 3C there behind Heischer and Hughes. But in order for them to win a cup, they need top six winger and a third line center.
This guy's telling me he never said that about Luke over Quinn, and then he's also putting Malkin. He's putting Malkin on the fucking Devils. Right
I
now,
would
but
say
it's like,
I would say you more need like a Nick Paul is what.
Yeah,
you need.
or like Ryan O'Reilly. I know they were interested in O'Reilly last year. I could see O'Reilly being their third C pickup halfway through the year. But I never said Luke will be as good as Quinn. That's an absurdly high bar to set.
That's tough. That's tough
I think
aspirations.
Luke will be elite, like one of the top puck moving demon in the league. But Quinn is like entering like best defenseman of all time.
Has
like,
a brothers ever finished top 3 in Norris voting?
that's a good question. I would be shocked if that happened.
no
not.
way.
Okay, hey. Would you be willing to put a bet with Whit, and like we could talk about what it would be that at some point in their careers they both finish in the top 3?
I'm certainly open to entertaining that conversation. Yeah.
Well, Biz, it's actually an incredible segue talking about bets. Jack Hughes didn't get the 100 points, and he still owes me, but it's fine. We just have it running. I don't need to collect to this guy. I don't want to try to like ruin his
I know where
mortgage
this
payment
is
1
going.
month, so I'm just going to hold it.
Quack,
But there's another bet. There's a $5,000 bet. Quack, 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 Mr. Ducksworth. The Anaheim Ducks win a Stanley Cup before the New Jersey Devils, and the Anaheim Ducks locked up their stud, smooth skating, tall lefty defenseman with the same exact deal, right? $9 million a year for 8 years. Jackson Lacombe, the man that just playing on a bad team out west. No one's talking about the Ducks the past few years, and all of a sudden, it was like every 2 months you'd start seeing a couple more articles about Lacombe. And then by the end of last year, everyone's like, this kid's must watch. And we talked today with our guy we interviewed, Matthew Knies. He will be on later. We talked about him. They played at Minnesota together. And he's telling us that this guy's faster than he is on the ice. So makes sense that this deal gets done. And Pasha, I had described to him, like, I kind of like Lacombe a little bit more than Luke Hughes. We were battling even with
Wow,
our
he's
cup
a little
bets.
older, isn't he? I mean,
He is
24.
older, and I knew you'd bring that up. I've got their under the hood stats in front of me, and yes, offensively, Luke Hughes was better last year, but defensively, Lacombe was miles better. But like Biz said, he's 2 years older, so kind of hard to compare because 1 year for a young D-man like that is
Very true.
such a change. But
Very true.
love Lacombe's game. I think it's a great contract for him, and the Ducks have a very bright future. Ryan.
And I think the biggest takeaway from Knies is just how much he competes, right? And he was with them at the University of Minnesota. And we talk about development, right? And sometimes these kids, they go to college 2 years and then they sign the ticket and they're out of there, where this guy ended up developing all 4 years at the University of Minnesota. So I don't know necessarily if he came in as this offensive player, but as he like developed his game and he was solid defensively, it seems as if though it progressed at Minnesota, he took on more offensively, where you look at his numbers in his 4th year at Minnesota, that's kind of the guy you're seeing pan out with the Anaheim Ducks. I mean, 14 goals last year. He's 6'2", 210, probably even bigger this year, probably put on even more muscle now that he's 24 heading into this, what's going to be a big year for him making all that bread. But when you have those types of numbers and when you're that dominant, when your team is young and not really that relevant, that tells me a lot. And I think you'd be hard pressed to find a team with a healthier young core than what the Anaheim Ducks got cooking right now. And it's led by him on the back end. They got the Russian kid. Mitnikov. How do you say it?
Zellweger.
Pavel Mintyukov.
Mitnikov. They got Zellweger. So you got 3 young studs on the point, and then they're also loaded up front. I mean, Gauthier. They got
Carlson,
Seneke. They got Carlson.
Seneke, who went 3rd overall. Where
McQueen.
They are just so healthy and all
Pasha,
coming
you
up.
gotta Biz, I think he is like kind of nervous about this. And you laughed at me at the beginning of this bet, and now I could see you're like, fuck, like as these names are getting listed, I don't think it's as crazy of a bet as you thought it was.
Never said it was crazy. I would say that like it's the best team that you could possibly have in terms of like young upcoming team to have that bet with me with.
I pick winners. I'm a winner picker.
That's
you guys
debatable.
know that about me.
You picked the Rangers over the Devils in the playoffs the other year, so.
I mean, whether we're talking Ryder Cup, Stranglers, doesn't matter. I pick winners, Pasha. So I'm cold in life, unless it's against you. Against you, I seem to have phenomenal luck. So
let me ask you this, Whit: Are you walking back your comment about Lane Hudson not being invited to the U.S. development thing, and then Jackson Lacombe being invited?
That's not a name I should have listed when describing people that were invited over him. Leads me into another kind of not storyline, but Lane Hudson, because he's the guy that could have re-signed that we heard about for a long time. And I know Montreal, if they said 8 years at $9 million a year, it would have been accepted. And they dragged their feet. Now, how can you take less than those two guys after what he just did?
I think that you're talking.
Okay, Biz, if he gets 60 more points this year, how are you taking less than those guys?
Yeah, but I think that like if you're looking for a more well-rounded defenseman, I think you're taking Jackson Lacombe every day of the week. Like I understand that he drives traffic. Like he's kind of more of like a Quinn Hughes, but I also think that Quinn Hughes is a little bit more rounded defensively. And I'm not taking away, and we're going to be talking to Eric Engels later on about Montreal and what he sees from him, especially in his second camp, right? Because he's probably been watching him under his microscope. Where, like, are you telling me that Montreal has offered that 8-year deal at $9 million?
No, they didn't, and it would have been accepted.
You think he would have signed that?
Yeah, I think that they're dumb if they haven't offered him what those two guys just signed for. And maybe he's looking at it like you just talked about, how now they're projecting it to go to 113 and then 120, where he's saying, no, I know I'm getting those reps and I know I'm going to be playing PP1, so I'm just going to put up 65, 70 points, especially for how good, young, and talented Montreal is. And you could add another $2 million to that next summer. So my only thing is I'm a conservative guy, right? But these guys are tapped. When you're fucking at the blue line and you're last man back and you're fucking doing the head fakes and juking guys, you're built different mentally, physically. So he's probably like, no, I don't even want that deal. I just want to play another year and then fucking bend him over for more dough. Probably the same way Bedard's looking at it. Like, I would be shocked if Bedard wasn't offered $10 million, and that last year he didn't even have that good of a year. He's probably looking at like, no, the cap's going to go up as much as it is. I'm going to have a better year. And then all of a sudden Bedard's looking at 12, 13 a year. So for Lane Hudson to wait another year and not care about signing what Luke Hughes and Jackson Lacombe just got, he's probably going to make himself another $15 million. That's what I think.
Yeah, he could. So it's just, I guess you could argue that Lacombe is much more well-rounded than Lane Hudson, but when you look at that first year and what you think's coming again, based on being a rookie last year, he's only going to get better. Then I would have offered the 8 times 9. So you said that as well.
Yeah,
so we agree.
and you also got to think, if let's say Lane Hudson has a sophomore slump, like he'd probably still get offered that deal.
Yeah.
So
unless he had like 20 points or something. You know, something just crazy happens, but I don't picture it. The last news, I guess, late signing was Luke Evangelista. $3 million a year for 2 years. What the fuck? Took so long. Am I, Biz, if us three were in And I get you got to scratch and claw for every penny on both sides. Trying to build a competitive team, you got to use every dollar. That has to be well spent. Us three, could we not have just been like, yeah, 2 times 3, dude, you're good. Here we go. In July.
Yeah, I would imagine though. Like, I think that Trotz is a little bit like he seems like he's all fired up. He gets very testy with the media too. I'd be curious to know what he's like to negotiate with, and then probably wants to be a little bit more conservative after handing over those deals to Stamkos in March or so, and then last year panning out the way that it did. So, yeah, don't understand what took so long. Consolation prize, though, he did get voted best looking athlete in Nashville this past week.
Yossi's on his team.
Which is, that's up for debate too, right? So he gets that nom, but doesn't get probably the contract that he wanted. And hey, man, bridge deal here, and let's see what he can do.
My only thing is he must have been asking for like a 4, 5, 6 year deal, and they were like, no, and then they settled on 2. But like you said, this should have been done July 2nd.
Like, oh, I missed training camp. What'd you get? 2 times 3. Great deal for, $6 million, but it's just crazy that he missed all of camp. Keith, we can ask you about this guy. I've witnessed him firsthand just dominate. Mikola signs in Florida, and maybe the 2 craziest preseason games since like the 1970s were played between Florida and Tampa. Mikola was a part of it in one of the weirdest scenarios I've ever seen. We'll get into it, but he signs a big extension, 8 years, $5 million a year, $40 million. The guy's been a horse since he came over. Are you surprised? Are you happy with the number?
Yeah, happy with both sides. I think he's happy. I think the team's happy. I know they love him here. He, brings that size and skating ability on the back end. Him and Seth Jones last year were great. They'll be great again this year. So I think he's just one of those guys that what he's going to bring every single night. What does Army call him? The Condor. Like, he's just in the way all the time. I think his offensive ability, like, watch him in preseason this year. It looks like his offensive ability is starting to come out a little bit more. Whether or not he does that in the regular season, who knows? He's not getting paid for that. He's getting paid to shut down these big lines. He's done a great job with it, obviously winning cups. But I think it's a great deal for both sides. But I honestly think like his ceiling hasn't even been touched. Like I think he's got more to offer. And maybe you look back at it in a few years and say it's a hometown discount, but it's also too, like, you think 3, 4, 5 years ago when he was in St. Louis and then New York, like if they offered him an 8-year, $1 million a year deal, he probably would have taken it. But so now it's like good for him. He's got his security, loves playing here, I'm sure. So all around, very happy with that for both sides.
I agree with you. The upside on the offensive side of the puck is what kind of stood out to me, especially during that cup run. I think a lot of that derives from Maurice giving him the green light and instilling confidence in it. You saw I remember the one goal where he just got shot out of a cannon and jumped up in the play in the rush. And like you said, Jans, going back a few years ago with like St. Louis and New York, would you have ever seen that out of him?
No.
He was probably being told by coaches, hang back, let your other partner go up, and if he gets caught, he gets caught. You take the 2-on-1 and simplify your game. So a hell of a deal. He's a force out there, and I think that majority, if not every single team in the league, he's in their top 4. And you just can't replicate that size, that length, and how quickly. And also his skating ability and how he's able to close on guys so quickly. So I want to say they have 11 players locked in through 2030 at this point. I was
just looking at it because they
what
have
is it,
11
guys?
Years. They have at least 5 years more of Barkov, Kachuk, Reinhart, Bennett, Verhaeghe, Marchand, Lundell, 2 more years of Luostarinen, and Seth Jones, Ekblad, Forsling, and Mikola, all for the next 5 years. By the way, their highest paid defenseman, Seth Jones, $7 million cap hit.
But Biz, think of him on the PK, like Mikola on the PK, like he's such a disruptor. Like his stick is always in the way. It's so hard to get in the zone. Like those little things that most people don't see during the game that just, it pisses off other teams when you can't get in the zone cleanly. You can't get good shots on net. Like that adds so much to a team. And what he's brought to this group, I think like since he's been here has been probably understated just because of, the other guys around here, but he has been an amazing key part of this team.
He's the guy where you do the one-on-ones in practice where you're just crossing over the first blue line and he's at the red line and then he's stuck on puck and you're like, what the fuck, man? I don't even get to do this drill. Like, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
Fuck you. It feels like he's got the go-go gadget extender stick.
Yeah.
But yeah.
There was actually no better feeling than breaking up a forward in practice early. They'd get so rattled. And I did it like 3 times in 10 years. But
we are going to dive into Florida, or I believe maybe Tampa first or Florida as far as our season previews. You talked about their highest paid defenseman being Seth Jones. Their smallest defenseman is who?
Kulikov.
Forsling?
No, Kulikov and Forsling are both 6'1".
How big is Kulikov?
They're both 6'1", one's 210, one's 215. Like, come on.
Yeah, and the other guys are fucking giraffes out there. So they just have so much size and yet mobility and take time and space away, where this is going to be a force to be reckoned with. Like people obviously you can't replace Barkov and they will struggle a little bit with his absence, but I don't think as much as people think. And that they're going to have other guys
this year, even like somehow this year, whatever, they get knocked out in the first round. It's like, well, we still got plenty more time to get a couple more of those. Like, they're just not going anywhere. Now, getting into the games, I don't know what happened. I don't know what I witnessed, but it was incredible. Like, I haven't seen hatred like that in a preseason game in my life. And it all began when AJ Greer, I think it was Friday or Thursday night.
Yeah.
I don't know really why he did it. Like, he kind of bundled Hagel, then hit him with his stick. I don't know if it looked on purpose, whatever. You can argue that. So Hagel's like kind of wounded and looks at him. Then he just suckers him twice. Now, I think Florida's just beat the shit out of everyone for so long that going into the game on Saturday, I don't know what was said in the locker room, but it began with a full-on mauling of Aaron Ekblad. Sabrin goes in straight, like, I assume he's getting suspended for that. Ekblad looked injured, and then it turned into a point where there was 3 guys on the bench remaining for both teams. It's kind of weird. Like, you don't want to see people get injured. Ekblad could be injured. Hagel could have easily been injured with the thing with Greer. But talk about hating each other. Like, imagine the first regular season game these guys have this season.
I wish they were starting off the season against each other instead of
it's not till like November 18th or something.
I think it's
let it brew. Let it
Florida.
brew.
Yeah,
I think that Sabrin guy was already sent down to the minors, and they called them back up to play in this game. Like, they were just like, we're bringing in some meat. I'm pretty sure
he was
I heard
on that
on
Calder Cup team when we won in Manchester. He's a nail gun. He's a lefty, and
he's enormous.
Yeah, he's probably about like 6'1", 6'2", and he just throws though. Like, those guys where they're like every fiber of their being is being thrown in their punch, where they're not aiming to hit you in the nose. They're aiming to put their fist through the back of your head. That's how he chucks them. Now, the Ekblad thing, I would imagine that maybe is stemming from the way that he hit Hagel in playoffs, and him knowing exactly what his role is, saying, well, if I do this and I go after Ekblad, this is going to be, I'm probably getting called up for that November date. That's just more NHL salary in my pocket. So that's probably what's going on in his head, and rightfully so. And the way that after he hit him clean, it was weird how he just went over and attacked him. But I would just imagine it was because of the Hagel situation and him knowing that it's probably going to benefit him financially to invest himself in this rivalry, even though he wasn't even on the team last year. So this is not going to go away. This is going to continue to be ugly and get probably even uglier. And listen, this is what I wanted. This is what a lot of hockey fans wanted. Like, we talk about preseason, nobody really emotionally invested. It's boring hockey. Well, that was not. And I like my hockey with a little bit of violence. I'm sorry. I don't want to just see fucking toe drags. And you even saw the other night with Svechnikov thinking preseason I can kind of just twiddly do, twiddly dumb. No, well, you're going to get fucking rocked if that's the case. So I think that the NHL is in a perfect spot of blended of violence and skill. And we're hitting just the start of a new, unbelievable era of hockey. That's where I'm at. I love it. I love it. More violence.
I don't love it, first week of October when the regular season hasn't started, just because you don't want to see guys get hurt for a regular season.
No, I don't want to see anybody get hurt.
Right.
I want to see them punch each other's head in, though.
Yeah.
But you're saying in what you want, injuries occur. That's just a fact. Like, I agree with you. Like that hockey, it's just better to watch. There's just so much more intensity that makes like watching it that much better. But I'll admit, like injuries are going to come of that. That's just part of the game. That's always been part of the game. And that's why actually like playing with your head up so important. Now, both of those instances, there's kind of nothing you can do. Like, I mean, Ekblad went to kind of stand him up and he got the better of him. And then he's like, I'm going in for more. Sabrin, that is. So it did like get the juices flowing. I'm seeing the clips on my phone. I'm like, what is going on down there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
was,
I mean, who
enough.
am I to get in the way of why these guys hate each other? I'm just there with the fucking popcorn and ready to watch entertainment. Like, that's just me.
The one, like, it's true hatred, right? They're both, same state teams. Like, they've both been at the top the last, 10 years, 7 years. Like, there's hatred there with these two groups. And, I think Tampa's looking at their year, especially with Barkov and Matthew being out for a while. Like, this is our year to maybe get back in the top in South Florida. But I don't think Florida's going to be a easy pushover. And, they're going to come with some jam too.
Did you see Matthew Samaskevich's interview on the bench? He was like, we're just going to win games and play hockey. And basically those idiots over there are just going to kind of try to stir it up. And that's really the only way they can try to get to us. So I was like, okay, let's go, baby.
Well, part of it is too, like Florida embarrassed them in the first round last year.
Embarrassed.
Everyone thought we were going to see one of the best series of our lives. It was 5 games. So it's like, not only are they the 2-time defending champs and then they've owned you.
And I mean, you had the Ekblad hit on Hagel. You had the Kachuk hit on Gensel. They dominated them not only physically, but on the scoreboard as well. So I'm interested to see what this Samaskevich can do. I think that, I know last year he played 72 games. Didn't play a ton in playoffs, right? He only had, what was it? I think he had four games played in playoffs. I think that he's one of those guys that is going to take the next step. Just what everybody else needs. Another guy popping off for the Florida Panthers and probably signing a team-friendly deal.
Guys, we're talking about the best on-ice rivalries in the NHL. I think it's time to bring in someone who is a part of the best off-ice rivalry in the NHL, which is Biz versus Lil C's.
You mean Big C's? Big C's.
It's Big C's.
He called them Little C's?
Oh, the disrespect. No, I had him say that.
I don't know.
I had him say that.
I thought we were homies there, bro.
How you been, buddy?
I'm doing fantastic. Man,
You must be
hockey
fucking
season
exhausted.
is fucking here.
Oh,
Were you at the game last
Fucking
night,
right.
C's?
No, I actually had to work, unfortunately. But I actually had the game in the background. And as I was talking to customers, I had to hold back so many times because I'm like, let's fucking go. I was so jacked up. No, it's crazy because I ended up meeting up with AJ Greer the night before. And he's like, he's all ready for the season. We're all ready for the season. Man, it's going to be exciting. It's going to suck that not having Barkov. Obviously, we can't replace him. But I think we got the depth, and I think the players, we definitely have the attitude and the grit on the team. And Matthew Kachuk, he's going to be back. So we're in good hands.
Geez, do you care at all where you finish? Or is it just what I've kind of been saying, like they're all figuring, just get in, it doesn't matter?
In years past, I think you would you want home ice advantage, but I don't think players nowadays really care. Especially with this Panther group, they're just so tight knit together, and they really don't care where they play. They could either play in Toronto, they could play in Carolina. We saw it last year. We saw Tampa Bay too. They had home ice advantage. It doesn't really matter because we know we have the guys to get us to where we want to be. So yeah, I don't think it really matters, man.
who are you most excited to see as far as like a guy taking the next step? We were just talking about that Samoskevich kid.
Yeah.
Is that one guy that you guys are excited about? Because I feel like the roster is basically the same. The other big ad who could help, kind of like they've done in years past with who's the kid last year who started Schmidt. They always seem to take a defenseman and
they got Petrie.
Yeah, we got Petrie. I was going to say, I think Petrie's going to be a key to our power play. I don't know if you guys remember a couple of years ago when he was in Montreal, he had like a career year there, right? So I think he could take the next step, and he doesn't have to be the main guy, right? So we got Seth Jones in the back. We got Aaron Ekblad locked up for another 6 years, 4 years, I think, right? So I mean, they got everybody coming back except for Nate Schmidt. And honestly, that defensive core is just, they're dangerous, man. If everybody can stay healthy, knock on wood, I really like our way the defense is set up this year.
Sees the projected point total is 105.5. Only 9 teams got 100 points last year. Usually there's some more that reach that point. Would you take the over or the under?
Not having Barkov this year and Matthew Tkachuk's missing a few months, I wouldn't be surprised if we're under. But like you guys said, I mean, I really don't think it matters how many points we have, because we've seen how many times in the last couple of years the team with the most points don't end up getting to the Stanley Cup. So how much do we really want that? Honestly, as long as we get into the playoffs, that's all that really matters, you know? So as long as we stay healthy and then we get Tkachuk back healthy, and who knows, Sasha really wants to come back. And if anybody could come back for the playoffs, it probably would be him. Just the way he works hard and the way he's determined to help this team. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens.
Well, big, don't call him Little C's. Thanks for hopping on, buddy.
Well, did you have a question there, Jens? Did you have one more?
I was just going to ask. I know they got the ring ceremony and the banner raising. I didn't know are you getting a ring? Or are you going to be at the game? Obviously, you're going to be at the game.
I don't think I'm getting a ring. I haven't been told, but I am going to be hanging out with Matthew on Wednesday here at Caneswear in Florida, and then we just got a whole bunch of events down here that we're going to be doing. I don't know if you guys heard of Bare Knuckles Ice Wars. It's such a badass event. Chris Therien, former Philadelphia Flyer, hit me up and he's like, "Sees, we got this bare knuckle ice wars that we're doing. We're coming to Amerant Arena on Friday, October the 10th. And it's basically MMA fighting on skates."
Okay.
So
Would you fight Biz?
as long as he's in a wheelchair with me.
You'd fucking kill him.
Let's go.
Oh,
I think that would be a
we'd
great
sell
event.
that fucking place out.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah.
That's the last thing I need. I've been taking enough L's lately. I don't need fucking Big C's fucking dummying me.
What is it? Bare Knuckle Ice Wars?
Yes. Bare Knuckle
yeah,
Ice
that's like
Wars.
Biz's career's documentary name.
Yep.
Since we have you, I was going to ask you like about this rivalry with the Tampa Bay Lightning. Do you see it continuing to evolve? And
100.
They didn't really do, like, kind of like you guys. They weren't able to do much this offseason because they pretty much have their group set. Do they scare you at all? Do you feel like maybe they'll have the advantage this year, especially with no Barkov, considering how deep they are in the middle of the ice?
They might have the advantage during the regular season, but let's see what happens in the playoffs. If Sasha ends up being coming back towards the playoffs, a full healthy Barkov, that could be dangerous. But let's not forget, who do we have on our team that we ended up locking up for 6 more years? Your arch nemesis, Brad Marchand.
Marchand.
I mean,
King of the Rats.
What a great addition, and for him to stay here. Now, I know last year and towards the end of the season, towards the playoffs, he was a third line guy, but I think they're going to ask a little bit more of him here in this beginning, just because we are missing Barkov. And I think not just him, but a lot of the players. And like you said there, Biz, Samoskevich, I think he's going to take a big step forward. Yeah, he's got a lot of offensive power. He's fast. He's gritty. And I think his two-way ice, the way he plays two-way is getting better and better every year. And we saw it towards the end of last year, too.
Big C's, be honest. Do you think Marchie's actually going to play 6 years, or do you think they're circumcising the cap?
I mean, would you put it past him? I mean,
dude, the Fountain of Youth. He's in the sun every day down here. Hey, he might play 8 more years.
If anything, I'll lend him my wheelchair. I mean,
do you
use my chair?
Are you open to some form of punishment if he doesn't play all 6 years in order to circumcise the cap? Are you open to punishment?
I mean, but don't players do that all the time? They retire early. I mean, are we going to punish every team that has a player that's going to retire early?
Sure.
Well, he wouldn't retire. He wouldn't retire because he wouldn't get his money.
Sure. If we end up winning two more Stanley Cups, why not?
So Biz, if he you're basically you're
I'm
into
open to
punishing them if he
punishment.
retires.
I
or if
would
he
let
stops
Brad
playing.
Marchand crack an egg on my head if he plays another 6 years, but I don't think it's happening. I think you guys circumcise the cap like you always do. It's right back to the no state tax. You guys just find ways to weasel your way into victory.
But the cap is going up every year. I mean, you guys have enough room to make something happen. I mean, you guys weren't able to sign
we can't
Marner.
do it anymore. We can't throw anybody on LTIR. They already stopped that.
I know. So, I mean,
And that
we
was your
can't do it either.
specialty.
Now they got guys signing deals that they won't even end up playing out to get their fucking number underneath.
Yeah, well, I've been saying they should have done that a long time ago, especially when Tampa won it back then. So I don't really mind that because I thought that was kind of a disadvantage. So we just ended up playing the game here the last couple of years. And if for them to take it away, it's okay. It doesn't matter. We still got the players out there. We still got Rodriguez. We still got Marchand and all those other guys. And don't forget about Anton Lundell. He's only, 24 years old? I mean, the kid is still young. The kid still has a lot of juice. I mean, put Anton Lundell on any team. I can guarantee you he's a first line, a second line center.
Edmonton.
Third line.
I mean, I just put you in a spot to just dunk on me.
I mean,
you've owned me 2 years in a row. I just thought of one team that might not work.
You still haven't come to me and said hello. You were down here in South Florida.
What do you,
me? You.
Didn't we see each other at game?
No.
Yeah.
I came over and saw you.
Yeah, Biz was nice enough to
I
come by
fucking
and
got
say
his
hello.
season tickets this year for stuffing me in a locker.
By the way, thank you. I really
Biz
appreciate
idiot.
it, guys. Yeah.
How many did they give you? They give you just the one, or they get you a pair?
They got me the pair, so we really
Fucking
appreciate
right,
it.
C's.
Let's fucking go.
So what are you going to do with
Unreal.
the other ticket? Are you going to maybe pay it forward and maybe bring some fans from your podcast? How are you going to operate your extra ticket?
Sell it, make money like Biz would do.
No, I'm not that much of a douchebag.
Okay, fuck you, you fucking cap circumciser.
Take him back.
You want to
back,
start
Biz.
this again, don't you piece of shit?
Listen, I'll get my boob
taking
done
those
like
tickets
you want
back.
Me to do. You want me to get my tits done? Then you
Okay,
better
let's
that
get Big
big-ass
C's
nose
off.
of yours
Let's get
done.
Big C's with
Thanks,
fake
C's.
titties. Big C's, great seeing you, buddy. Great
I'm going
seeing
to
you.
be
you
sucking
guys.
on those fake titties once Marchand
Yeah,
doesn't end
get
up.
out. See you, Big C's.
Caesar.
God damn. You see Big C's, you're talking Stanley Cup hockey, and all of a sudden you're talking about him having fake breasts. That was just... He also said, don't hate the player, hate the game. Right to your face, Biz, when talking about cap circumcision, as you call it. Well, I'm very interested to hear what you guys think of Tampa. That's the next team here.
Well, let's make our prediction. I think you'd have to be a complete moron to not think that Florida will make playoffs. I actually see them given the fatigue, given how strong the division is, as well as the conference. I could see them maybe only getting a wild card. But if gun to my head, I'd probably say third place in the Atlantic for the Florida Panthers. So for sure, no brainer, they're in the playoffs. What about you guys?
Yeah, obviously I got them in. I got them higher than a wild card just because, the additions that they made, talked about Petrie a little bit. He's been a number one guy. All their D, besides probably Kulikov, have been a number one guy at some point, maybe Mikla as well. But those guys know what it takes. They're going to have to win from the back end out. Bob's going to be amazing like he has been. fun little fact: the backup that they get, Tarasov, is that how you say it?
I don't know.
So his dad, Bob's favorite goalie growing up was Tarasov's dad, and then Tarasov's favorite goalie growing up was Bob. So he's going to come in. He's going to be trying to impress his goalie mate, trying to please. He's been over in Europe the last few years, so I think he's going to. From everything I've heard, he's had an amazing camp. He works his absolute nuts off, and he's going to be a guy too. Probably get more games than maybe another backup might get, just because Bob's getting older. But I think he's going to, not a lot of people talking about it, but I think he's going to have a great year. Just a lot of, stuff to fight for him, I think. And then just winning from the back end out, their D are built to win games. Their forwards will fill in. Like we said it all last year, like that third line is a second line. This year, they're going to be a second line to start the season. We'll see what they can do. But I got them in. I got them I got them higher than a wild card, but I got them in and making a good run as well.
Yeah, obviously I have them in. Biz, that's surprising. So you said maybe wild card, if not third in the division. That means you got Tampa and Toronto in front of them. That would be
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Correct.
Yeah. So Florida, I got them in. I got them being top 3 in the division. I don't know where to say yet. I think Toronto's winning the division. I'm getting ahead of myself, but Biz, Tampa, Coop's team.
Yes. And congrats to Coop. It wasn't announced, but he has signed an extension. I talked to him in the summer. He did let me know, and he's like, don't say anything on the pod. And I refrain.
When he says don't say anything,
Yeah. No, I do it for my friends. I stay loyal like that for my close buddies, ones that don't call me Biz Idiot and have a fucking T-shirt of it on national television, banging my face on the drum. But going back to Tampa, I think the biggest thing, if they are going to finish in that second spot in the Atlantic, because we all know the Leafs are taking the first spot, is Vasilevsky. Not the best game last night, letting in 7 power play goals or 6, whatever it was. But if he can get back to somewhat of his old ways with that back end that they have, that back end is on the back 9. They're not exactly spring chickens anymore, but with Victor Hedman, McDonough, Chernak, Radish, they got some big, strong D-men back there.
Lilleberg's a big kid too.
Who's this? Sorry?
Lilleberg. He's a big dude.
And that JJ Moser was good.
He was really good.
Fucking nice, dude. He is nice. And they got him in that Sergachev trade where obviously they had to get some money off the books in order to sign Gensel. But I think it's a sneaky back end. I don't think it's talked about enough. And then you look up front, man, like right now, obviously they have Hagel listed on the IR. I'm sure he'll be back ready for puck drop. And then once Nick Paul at third line center, like that is a fucking pretty lethal top 9 forward group. And these guys all know how to play with one another. They know each other's tendencies. Their power play is absolutely filthy. Special teams, really. So this is a well-oiled machine, and I see a different result even come playoff time next year with this group. So I got them second in the Atlantic and a no-brainer for Coop and the boys to make playoffs.
When they were like going to the Cup Finals and winning the Stanley Cup, it was their depth, like Coleman, Pat Maroon at the top of his game, Yanni Gord. So Yanni Gord's back, right?
Yeah,
so it's almost like, hey, this guy, like, he knows how to win. We know him. He comes back, a few years older. But then Bjorkstrand, who I think he was hurt in the playoffs, wasn't he? He's pretty good when they got him over from Seattle. So their third line, and then listed right now playing with them is Connor Geekie. So I don't know if did you see the goal he had, Biz, that spinorama? He's like highly skilled. He's enormous. He looks a little like he's not the smoothest skater, but I think has high-end skills. So if he took a leap, I really like this team. I mean, I'll never pick them again against Florida in the playoffs. I just won't do it. I did it this year. I picked Tampa, but I still think they're easy. Yeah, they're top 3 in the division. And then also when you think of Colorado and Edmonton and Minnesota, like you think of McKinnon, McDavid, Draisaitl, Kaprizov, like there's also the Kucherov factor, right? Like it's now we've just become so accustomed to 125 points, like ridiculous highlight reel plays every single night and in the top 3 of MVP. It'll probably be no different this year. So I like the team. I can't believe that was a boss move, just never announcing Coop's extension. Like, kind of hilarious.
I love it. Just flying under the radar.
I know. But the fact one insider didn't get that news, it's great.
I do agree with you on that depth comment as well, Whit. Like, I think that they're pretty stacked. Like that Holmberg who was in Toronto, like I really like the way that he skates. Like him playing fourth line, I think that's a great slot for him. Yanni Gord will get bumped down when Nick Paul's in the mix. Bjorkstrand, like these, like having those types of names in your bottom six with that top six forward group is lethal. I mean, Cirelli probably top 10 defensive centerman in the league.
Guy,
yeah, he's a Selke guy. We're like unreal 200-foot game. So they just, I just look at this group and they're stacked. And even that Gergensen kid he was the one that was in Buffalo, I believe, for a while. He's a good penalty killer. Helps out with the intangibles. So I just don't see a lot of holes in this group when they're healthy. And it's kind of it's also like Florida too. It helps you when there's not a lot of turnover, especially from the core group, right? There's not a lot of like in and out. They're just kind of filling in holes. So just two healthy teams in South Florida ready to fucking beat the wheels off one another.
Yeah, and big thing too. Like I think Chernak and McDonough are one of the best shutdown pairs in the league, and in that division you have to have guys like that to shut down those the big guns in the Catlantic. But like you said, like Kucherov is one of 4 players to record 80+ assists in 3 straight seasons. He will join Gretzky, Coffey, and Orr. Coffey and Orr streak stopped after 3 years, so he's looking to do it for the 4th time, which only Gretzky has done, which is insane. Guess how many times Gretzky did it?
12.
13. But it's like to get 80 assists every year, this guy, and we've had guys on, they talk about the way he works on his craft and getting pucks off the wall, making passes. Like he's putting in the work every year. He's going to bring it every year, be in the MVP conversation. And especially watching those last 2 preseason games, they look like they are pissed off that their throne has been taken and they want to get back on the top. And, I honestly think they're going to win the Atlantic this year. Sorry, Biz. I don't think Toronto's going to do it. So I think they're going to be a hell of a team this year, and led by Kucherov, Point, and then the 2 studs in the back, and Hedman too. Hedman looking to have another 60-point season. Like he was a stud last year. Like not even talked about that much, but and all those guys too. Besides Kucherov, like those guys are fighting to be on the Olympic teams. They're fighting to. I mean, a lot of them are shoo-ins, but like they're looking to prove themselves in the beginning of the year, get off to good start. So it'll be a fun start to watch those guys and Vazzy kicking as well.
And they have the just like the sneakiest assassin in Jake Gensel. Like the guy is just an absolute gamer. The bigger the game is, the better he plays. So all of us
Remember when Pittsburgh wouldn't sign him for 8 times 9?
Yeah, that's one.
And now they're sending Graves down on that deal that they signed him to.
Yeah, is that a 6-year deal?
That was I believe like 5 or 6 years at
that's
4 and so another. As much as I wanted to put Dubas back in the good books for the good deed he did with Flower and bringing the band back together, now he takes another L.
Well, fuck. We could talk now about a team who's taken L's since 1967. That's the Toronto Maple Leafs. And Biz, I'm going to say something to you. I think the bet of the year in NHL futures on DraftKings is the Toronto Maple Leafs over 99.5 points. I think they're an absolute wagon. And I don't even hate the 19-1 odds to win the Stanley Cup when you're talking about value. It's a hell of a squad, Biz. No, I'm not messing, bud. It's deep. It's heavier.
It's great.
I don't love the D, but they're not
You
bad.
don't love the D.
I don't love the D.
But they haven't had changeover. At least they're still the same guys. Like every year, it's like we need different D. They at least have the same group.
And Morgan Riley's lost a little bit of weight. He looks unbelievable right now. And he I believe is their highest paid defenseman, and he's only making $7 million. That's the one knock you could say about the Leafs is they don't have a true number 1 back there. But I just love how it's been distributed, like the not only the money but the ice, right? You got Tanev, unreal shutdown guy, one of the best in the league. I like the way that Benoit's evolved. He plays a heavier physical game. McCabe, like I love him. So you just need those guys to hold the fort back there. And I kind of said what I had to say as far as my piece last podcast about guys buying in, locking in Stolars. The one thing that does scare me a little bit is the fact that I don't know when Wool's going to be back, and I feel that they do a good job of splitting the net to alleviate a little bit of pressure off of Stolars and not having to play him so much. I think that the boys will batter their cocks off for Reimer. It was crazy stat too. It was over 3,500 days since Reimer had played a game for them, right?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
he was there so long ago.
Yeah,
Seems like
it'd been
a
over
lot.
3,500 days, and as they got beat by Detroit the other night, and he let that one in overtime. But I just, like I said, I love this group. I think that they're built better than last year, and I think they're poised to win the Atlantic and go on a run to the Stanley Cup Finals. That's it. Like I don't need to give the double wristers out. I said my piece last pod. If you want to listen to it, go. And also I always get the like, oh, this much time of Leaf chatter. We can fucking move on to our unbelievable interview with Matthew Knies. I don't give a fuck. I've already said what I got to say.
To a
You
Leaf.
seem triggered about the Leafs. They haven't even played a game yet this year, Keith.
I ain't fucking triggered.
Yeah,
I'm
you
just
are.
I'm defending
I'm not
our
mad.
territory.
Yeah.
I'm-
He gave you a
I'm-
compliment and you're yelling at him.
No, I'm
know.
not talking to him. I'm talking to the fucking idiots.
No, you're talking to
online
the
who are,
voices inside
all you
your
guys
head.
do is talk about the Leafs. Actually, to be quite frank, we didn't talk fucking at all last season about the Leafs during the year. We
You did on TNT. That's it.
What maybe when they were on the broadcast and I had to, or Liam was teeing me up
I
for
think
it.
it was more the candles and the Leafs. Like that might have added to the displeasure.
I
of some
don't
people.
talk about them until it's playoff time. When it's playoff time, now we're playing for keeps. That's when I'm going to chime in and be my obnoxious idiot Leaf fandom guy. Okay. And that's fine. And I deserve to do that. Just like Yans was for the fucking Florida Panthers, the Catlantic. Could you imagine me calling it the Leaf Atlantic?
Well,
Could you imagine the uproar on
Yeah,
this
I could.
podcast if I said that?
I could. And they won the
Biz,
division.
Biz, right now they got Domi and Knives with Matthews, whether that stays or not. But I actually love that line. Like I don't think he's gonna lose value in points and goals and stuff. Like those guys are gonna get him the puck. Like he needs guys like that.
As far as who are we talking about?
Matthews.
What's it? Domi's just gonna get on the forecheck, and he's gonna make
Right.
sure he gets the puck right, and then Knies is gonna go to the front of the net. So you have a perfect mix of everything. If you need a guy who's gonna be able to make more plays and maybe better off of zone entries and rushes, and has a little bit more skill offensively, you're looking at Matthias Michelli. But the fact that you can kind of mix them up and down the lineup, it's great. Let's see who has the most chemistry and let them roll, baby. But what do you guys think about the Leafs?
I like their squad, dude, this year. I think they're nice. I think it could be a little awkward getting used to not having Nylander setting, like for Matthews, that could be weird. The power play might maybe take a little longer to get going, but these are just guesses. It is a big loss. You lose one of your top, three offensive players that is like a game breaker. I think it could be a little different, but Knies is going to take a probably another step, and Nylander's incredible. Matthews is probably going to pop off this year. Like if he's able to stay healthy, like the noise of his game not being with McDavid and McDavid and McKinnon, and I think that they still have so much firepower there that with the depth and like Waugh and Joshua, they're a really well-rounded team. When I said the D I don't love, I think Florida has three guys that'd be the number one on Toronto. So you go head to head, but they took them to 7. They were the only team to take them to 7, and they were up 2-0. So they have a very good team.
I think a lot of people also get wrapped up in Matthews returning to like the 69 goal cat, like at that top echelon goal scorer. He is coming in healthy. I mean, last year the back was, I think it was nagging him and bothering him. I'm not so concerned about him scoring 60, 65 goals. Like I personally don't give a fuck. As long as he stays healthy, the ice time's being distributed perfectly, and he's playing a great 200-foot game. If he has 35, 40 goals, I'm happy. So everyone's just like, oh, what's wrong with him? What's wrong with him? It's like, man, he's not going to score at a fucking 70-goal clip every season. I care about him playing like Anze Kopitar. I care like him playing like Sasha Barkov. That's all I give a fuck about. And also, I think that's all he gives a fuck about. So people need to stop worrying about him, although he still is on a better pace to beat Alexander Ovechkin's record.
Yeah,
But-
you mentioned that.
I mentioned that last pod. I still think that there's a lot more things to his game that are just as important as him putting the puck in the back of the net.
Okay, and I'll say, if he does what you're talking about, staying healthy being the most important and just playing well-rounded hockey, I think the minimum he would get is 45 goals. Like, he's that good.
Yeah.
He's still going to get 90 to 105 points with over 40 goals. So the guy's a machine. Yeah, I think that's the perfect time to throw it to our interview. Matthew Knies, and I know sometimes current players, they're younger. They don't have a ton to say. Like, they're not going to really like have, I'd say the chillest conversations just because they're worried about what they may say. And Knies wasn't like that at all. I think he really opened up with us. I think it's right around an hour. Great dude. And talking to him was a blast. So I'm a big fan. I think everyone will be after listening to this. Matthew Knies. Hockey is back, folks, and this season DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, brings you all the speed, all the skill, and nonstop action that you all love and crave. DraftKings Sportsbook delivers the unmatched intensity of the NHL right to your fingertips. From player props to the thrill of live in-game betting, every drop of the puck is your shot to win big. And new customers, this one's for you. Bet $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get paid $200 in bonus bets instantly. Great way to start the season. I already gave my pick during the Atlantic preview talking about the Leafs. Toronto Maple Leafs over 99.5 points this season. I love that bet. Light the lamp all season long with DraftKings. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code Chiclets. That's code Chiclets to turn $5 into $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Game time's back. It's Whit. Game time is back. The NFL is in full swing. The NHL is getting going. There's tailgates, there's pack stands, there's buzz before kickoff and puck drop. But getting in can be a nightmare. Queues, price jumps, getting logged out mid-buy, mid-click. All you want is to be there, beer in hand, losing your voice with the entire crowd, and the Game Time app gives the advantage back to the fans. It's the hack for unlocking amazing tickets and experience in a few taps. It's incredibly easy to use, and the Game Time guarantee means you can trust you'll get 100% authentic tickets on time and at the best price. Plus, fees are always included, so what you see is what you pay. There's tickets right now. Bruins are in Washington for the Capitals home opener. $50 right now. Game Time. Right now, go to Game Time. You want to go see the Caps play. You want to see the Bruins in town. $50. Take the guesswork out of buying NFL and NHL tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code Chiclets for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHICLETS, $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket. Go. Download the Game Time app right now. Welcome now to a very special guest. Calm down, Biz. Calm down. Yes, we have a Toronto Maple Leafs star forward who just signed a $46.5 million extension.
Hometown discount.
Matthew Knies. What's going
Appreciate
on,
it,
buddy?
guys. I'm doing well. How are you guys?
We're great. And I guess we're curious. I mean, camp's going now, buddy. How excited are you for this season? It's been a crazy kind of off season for the Leafs. Marner's gone, but it must be nice just like back on the ice with the boys and everything's going now.
Yeah, I mean, it was first day of training camp today. Yeah, everyone's really fired up to be back. See some new faces in the locker room. Yeah, it's really cool to be back.
What's Chief saying? He didn't want the core four language anymore. We're throwing that out the window. We're actually handing that over to Witt's team. They got the new core four.
Yeah, I mean, he was just saying how competitive camp was. You know, I think we got a lot of bodies right now, and everyone's kind of fighting for their spot. And yeah, it was a hard day today. You know, it was a lot of 1-on-1 and 2-on-2 battles and stuff. So it was a challenging day. But yeah, I think his message was pretty clear that it's going to be hard to make it, and we want to make a great team and kind of build an identity pretty quick.
Personally, for yourself, anything this year you worked on over the summer that we should look forward to seeing at the start of camp from you and as we get into the regular season?
Honestly, just my overall game, really, there's a lot I could work on. For skating, one point, I think the game's just got so fast nowadays, and I think guys can move so well and are so agile. And obviously, I'm chasing a lot of D on the forecheck, so the better I can get at just skating in general is going to help me. As for that, you know, everything in my game, just my consistency overall, I think is I try to improve on. So yeah, I think those main those are my main focuses for the year.
Nicey, I was talking to a donor, and you're built like a brick shithouse as it is. He was saying you gained even a little bit more muscle over this offseason. So what is a guy like you coming in weighing at?
Yeah, I think I'm right around 230, 235. Kind of changes, but it's heavy. It comes naturally though. The more I work out, I think during the summer, and I think I kind of slimmed down as we skate a little bit more here. But I was telling him that he slimmed down a little bit, and now he looks a little bit more like me because he was even bigger than I was. So he's pretty wide.
You're talking about donor?
Yeah, a big donor.
Oh, he was a tank when he played. You couldn't move him from the net front. So like having a guy like that around, do you talk? I mean, I'm sure you watched him growing up in Phoenix. Did you talk to him a lot and try to emulate a lot of what he brought to the game? Because he was a madman on the forecheck, great net front presence. So how often do you get to communicate with him about your game and what you bring?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty nice having him, be at every game and watch it. I mean, he's been behind the bench since I've been 13 years old. So he knows me inside and out, as a person as well. So it's really nice to have him and just be able to pick his brain. And obviously I think we have a very similar playing style. I think we're obviously big players that are very physical and love to play around the net and stuff like that. So it's pretty nice having an experienced guy like that who's a veteran who can just tell me on after a game what he thought, his what I was doing good, what I was doing bad. And it's pretty nice to have someone that's obviously always in my corner and pretty unbiased and knows what I can do, knows my expectations for myself. So yeah, he's been obviously a huge part of it here.
Yeah, so the non-Leafs jock sniffers out there, they may not know every little thing about you, but you grew up playing with Josh Doan out in Arizona, and I was deep diving into your stats and everything, and I saw you play in the Quebec Pee Wee tournament with him, which, Ryan Whitney's a champion of that. But the year before, you played for Bratislava, Slovakia in there, and then I think your father might be Slovakian. Can you talk to us about how that all came about and your Slovakian heritage?
Yeah, so both my parents actually grew up in Slovakia. So I was the only one in my family born in the States. So I have a dual citizenship. And I mean, I go back there every now and then and see my relatives and stuff. And it's pretty cool. I think when I go back there, there's no English being spoken. I'm pretty bad at Slovakian. I have it a little bit, but my parents are completely fluent, and so is my older brother. So I'm kind of the only one in the family, the odd man out that doesn't really know how to speak it that well. So it's kind of weird.
What made your parents move over here?
My dad got a job transfer from Honeywell. He was an engineer there, and he got an opportunity to go to either Detroit or Arizona, and he chose Arizona for the weather. So smart man.
What a veteran.
Did he speak English before he came? Like, was he always fluent in English?
They spoke a little bit. They learned it in school. They weren't too fluent. I mean, if you talk to them now, they have pretty heavy accents. So you could tell right away. You'd think they're, possibly Russian, just how heavy their accents are. But yeah, they're good now. And I'm not really sure, to be honest, how well they were, but I think that they knew definitely enough to make their way around.
Whereabouts in Slovakia? Because I played under 18 there in Bratislava.
Yeah, that's where they grew up. Yeah, right downtown.
It's beautiful there.
That's unreal.
And
that's a really
beers
good time.
are like, I think all the dads ended up following us over because we went there for under 18, and I think it was like 15 cents for a beer at the time. So we'd get done our games, and all of our old men would just be sloshed up.
No, I know. The beer's a lot better over there. Same with the Czech beer. My dad always introduced me to that. Czech beer is a lot better. You can actually, your stomach doesn't feel like shit when you're having those. So it's a lot better over there.
Do you often travel back? Like in the summertime, you guys always take a family vacation to go see all your relatives and stuff?
Yeah, my older brother actually, like he's been living in Europe for the past like 6-7 months, and he's been spending his time over there. My parents go back, I think, every 6 months. I try to go back once a summer. I couldn't this summer just because of how jam-packed everything was with weddings and stuff. But usually I go back for 2 weeks in the summer, and just because all my grandparents and everything and my cousins live over there, so to go see them. And yeah, it's a wonderful time. It's right in the middle of Europe, so you can always take a trip and backpack somewhere else. So yeah, it's cool that I have that unique experience.
Did your dad play hockey? Was he into it over there?
He played like professional like street hockey or like the ball hockey. I don't know if you ever seen that.
Oh, have you heard of the Chiclets Cup?
Yeah. But yeah, you guys know. But I think he was like, I don't know if it was like semi-professional, but I think he did like, there's like the World Championships, and he played for like Team Slovakia, but he played like men's league on the ice. But I think that was like his only competitive it was like the ball hockey. I don't even know if it's ball hockey or street hockey, what they call it, but yeah, he did that.
We talk often about like how teams go to non-traditional locations, like the Coyotes ending up in Phoenix from Winnipeg. Now that probably had a lot to do with you starting to play minor hockey in Arizona. Like how did you get your start in Arizona? Like what finally got you on the ice?
Yeah, my mom's dad played hockey, and sort of like it was kind of in my family. And my dad just took us to Coyotes games when we were younger, me and my older brother, and we went to like I want to say it was like 2011 or 2012, like the whiteout games when you guys when the Yotes were in the playoffs, and it was the coolest atmosphere ever. Like it was like I couldn't believe it. And then from then on, I was like, I have to play hockey, and my older brother did it, and I kind of just wanted to follow whatever he did and try to be better than him at it. And yeah, I kind of just took off from there and got into the Ice 10 program, and yeah, it was a lot of fun.
The Biz, everybody saw Biz, and I got to play hockey.
No, they saw Biz like sitting there as the grocery stick, and
no, not even, buddy. That was the when we played Chicago in the first round.
Yeah.
And then I lined up next to Bolig. I played 1 second, and I didn't do my tie down, and then I got kicked out, so we were down to 11 forward. So I guess you could say I helped them get past the Chicago Blackhawks by taking myself off the ice and out of the game, but that was pretty much the extent of my playoff experience that season.
I mean, that team was like one of the grittiest teams I've ever seen. If you look back at that lineup, it's some of the biggest and meanest boys, and I loved it. Like it was so fun to watch.
Biz, was that the series Torres knocked out Hossa?
Yeah. What did you make of that when you saw it? Like, what was your opinion when all that went down? There was a lot of drama.
Yeah, I don't really know. Like, I think I was pretty young at the time, so to me, it was like I didn't even want to see the hit. I was like, that was outrageous. But Marian Hossa was like one of my, like, honestly, like my childhood favorite players. Like he was Slovakian, so my parents like loved him. Like, so we were like a little bit like we were kind of torn. You know, we loved the Coyotes and we loved Hossa, so we didn't really know what to think. But yeah, I think I was a little bit too young that I was like, I tried to not watch that clip. You know, it was one of those things that you couldn't keep your head off of it because it was like it was so crazy, you know.
And I was just going to ask you about, so Auston Matthews, probably like 3-4 years older than you, maybe a little bit. Did you know about him growing up there? Like, had you heard about him at that time when you started playing?
Yeah. So my older brother Phil, he actually played with him for about, I want to say 2-3 years. He was a year younger, but they kind of mixed age groups at that time, and we had the same skating coach in the summer, that Boris. So we would skate together, you know, every now and then in the summer. So I knew of him, and then it was kind of when he got to the program that he really started to take off. And then yeah, it was crazy to see. You know, I kind of knew him a little bit before he got all the, you know, the hype and everything, and going first overall and going to the Leafs. And so it was crazy to see both sides of that, you know, see him before that and then skate with him after.
And I was just going to ask, like, seeing that, did it give you more of like did you feel like you had more of a chance to potentially get to the next level at the fact that local kids were being able to make that next step? Like, did you ever think in a million years that you would be able to go on and make it to the NHL at such a young age?
Yeah, I mean, I think he gave a lot of kids hope, you know, just sharing the ice with them at a young age and showing us that, you know, he does the same drills as us. Like it all gave us hope that we could make it. And yeah, I mean, he was the nicest and most welcoming guy, and just getting to know him at that age was huge. Like it was a huge influence on all of us as young kids. And yeah, it was great, you know, having him around all the time and skating with us. It was really remarkable for him to do all those drills, and you know, he was usually the ones that was demonstrating everything for us. So it was pretty cool to have that experience with him, and now be able to play with him in the NHL is cool.
I heard some rumor that he like didn't even play games at a real young age until he was maybe like 9 or 10, or I don't know if this is true, but he worked with like a specific skill coach a lot. Is that the guy you mentioned, Boris?
Yeah, I honestly didn't say his last name because I thought I'd butcher it. It's so Russian. It's like Dorozhenko or something. But yeah, we skated with him. It's like we don't really touch a puck too often. Like it was so much skating. We would skate for 3 hours a day and just like.
What age is this? Sorry.
This was, I mean, he did it since he was probably like 5 or 6 years old until I don't know, he was probably 21, like close to my age. But yeah, it was like almost figure skating on ice. I can send you guys their link, but it's like skating is so difficult and it's so hard and it's so different. And I think it helped both of us, become obviously really great skaters and develop our games a lot. But it's something like I've never done before, and to have it in Phoenix, Arizona was like, it was just crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it really helped us.
Was this being done at the Ice Den?
This was being done at Oceanside, where the Firebirds used to play. So yeah.
Is that where the ASU
barn
team was playing before they moved into their barn?
No, it was Arcadia. Sorry, it was Arcadia. Oceanside's the old Sun Devils rink. You're right. Arcadia was the one where we had the camp. I don't know if that's still around, to be honest, but yeah, that was an older barn for sure.
So a young age with no pucks, like it's kind of like, did you enjoy it though? Like, were you still like, I love this, or was it a kind of times where you're like, I don't want to go?
A little bit of both. Like I remember I was like 11, 12 years old, and I'm like waking up and I'm like sore as hell and my legs are hurting. I'm like, this can't happen. But we would be doing like, he'd take us outside in the Arizona heat, and this is in the summer, and he would just tell us like, you have 500 squats and then 500 side to sides, like just lunges. And we were like sweating, dying, sore. And then we go on the ice and we're doing jumps and 360s and just like jumping on one leg and stuff. It was pretty intense stuff, but like now looking back at it, it was all worth it. Now, like, that's why I don't think me and him do it anymore, because I don't think we can handle the soreness now. But yeah, when we were younger, it was pretty crazy how we could do that.
Were you playing other sports?
Yeah, I played a little bit of tennis and soccer, but just for fun with my buddies and stuff, but nothing too competitive.
So with the size, you mentioned, and you could tell on the ice, like, you're very fast, but you're also a truck. Were you always the biggest kid? Like, is your dad that wide and thick? Like, where'd your size come from?
Yeah, my dad's a pretty big boy. He that guy trains like nonstop. But yeah, no, me and Little Donor, we were probably the smallest kids on the team until we were 16. Me and him probably hit a growth spurt at like the same time. Yeah, we were. I don't know if you guys look back at our like USHL draft here, but we probably were one of the smallest kids drafted, the skinniest kids. We were always the little ones on the team, and then came like 16, 17 years old, we just had a huge growth for both of us and put on weight, and it kind of just took off from there for us because I think we had so much skill when we were younger, and just to add the size and strength, like, it made us a lot better. And yeah, it's funny that we both had it at the same time there.
You seem so close with Donor, and you're from Arizona. Was there any thoughts of going to Arizona State? And if not, why did you choose Minnesota right away and just go through that whole process of deciding where you were going to go for college?
Yeah, I was thinking about it, ASU. I think at the time when I was kind of deciding of it, it was a little bit still underdeveloped there. Like, they didn't have Mullet Arena, and I think I just didn't really want to play in Oceanside, my freshman year with a kind of a rink that I grew up playing. And I think that was a little bit too. And then once I started visiting some other schools in North Dakota and Penn State and Minnesota, I was like, I just thought these schools had a lot to offer right away, and unreal campuses, unreal experiences. And then I kind of wanted to, play in the Big Ten. I wanted to play in a conference. And so that kind of came down to it, and just love Minnesota. I love the coaches there. They were going to build a great team. I mean, you kind of look at their lineup when I was committing, and it was a lot of great names. And yeah, I just put a lot of faith into those coaches to make a great team, and they did. So yeah, it was a good decision by me.
That team that lost, you guys, when you lost to Quinnipiac, that's got to be one of the best college hockey rosters I've ever seen. It was nuts.
Yeah.
Sorry to bring that up, but like, you see all these
guys
guys that are like dominating in the NHL now. Must have been a fun couple years for you.
No, it was.
Logan Cooley, Brock Faber, Jackson McComb, and Jimmy Snuggerud, for those at home not following the college game.
Yeah, I mean, practicing against those guys and with those guys, like, it was the closest thing you could get to the NHL, before it. And yeah, I mean, we had a hell of a team, hell of a group, extremely close. I live with those guys in the summer. I live with Jackson McComb and Jimmy Snuggerud in the summer, and we all kind of train together too now. So it's yeah, it sucks that year, but yeah, we had a pretty incredible lineup.
Before that, it said you played 3 years with the Tri-City Storm. So at that point, you had to make a decision to move away from home. What was that adjustment like?
It's pretty hard. I think I was like 15 or 16 years old at the time, and it's different moving from Phoenix, Arizona to Nebraska, where the city was, I don't know, 10,000 people, and it was snowing like crazy. I'm learning to drive in the snow, and I lived on a farm, like out on a 3-mile dirt road. Like it was a complete shell shock for me. But I lived with 3 other guys on the team in that barn. We just got really close, and I don't know. I loved everything about juniors. The lifestyle is so awesome. Just to go to high school and get to play in front of thousands of fans and travel and go see different cities. Like it was so much fun.
You might have answered this talking about the growth spurt and it being a little later, but no consideration from the national program for you, or was it like, how did that? Were you kind of rattled by that, or did you not care?
I was a little bit upset about it. But again, I was really small at the time. I was really underdeveloped. Me and Josh both were. I wasn't really expecting it that much, but I was definitely upset. Like that was like something I definitely dreamed about. Like I wanted to play there, and honestly, like it was really good for me not to. Just to play another year of U16 and touch the puck a lot, play a lot. Have confidence. And then as soon as I stepped into junior, it was pretty easy for me to transition. I think if I would have made that team, I probably wouldn't have been, in their top 6 or been and playing a lot of minutes. And I think, my development probably would have got kind of stalled there. So I think it was best for me, honestly, to go somewhere where I could play right away and play heavy minutes. And yeah, so I'm pretty fortunate that I got another opportunity to play in the USHL in Tri-City. And, it was, those were 2 special years for sure.
So if I'm not mistaken here, looking at your hockey DB, you go from playing in Tri-City, you end up going to your first year at Minnesota, and then towards the end of that first season, you end up getting to play in the Olympics?
Yeah, it was halfway through my freshman year in February. Yeah, it was unbelievable. Yeah, it was really cool. It was really cool, and just sending out the emails to my teachers like, "Hey, I won't be here this month. I'm going to the Olympics." So yeah, it was a lot of fun, and yeah, it was cool. There was 2 other guys on our team that went as well, and I think half the team was all college players, and the other half was players playing pro in Europe somewhere, either in the KHL, Sweden, Swiss League. So it was an awesome that we had kind of like half a team of veterans, then half a team of just youngsters, and we gelled so close, and it was such a crazy experience. Obviously, it being in Beijing too, it was pretty gnarly.
Yeah, we need some stories from the village, or did you guys get to go out? I know it was heavy COVID times, but was there any shenanigans going on off the ice?
Yeah, I think like once kind of towards the end of the games, close to like the closing ceremonies, it's weird because every in the village, like every country has like their own like tower. And so like you'd step into a tower, and there'd be a huge German flag or a huge, I don't know, Italy flag. And we were kind of bouncing back and forth. Like everyone's kind of celebrating just them being there and having drinks and having fun. And, we get caught like the Netherlands tower, and we're trading jackets and hats and stuff. And, I remember one of my roommates like came home and just had nothing on besides a Netherlands jacket in the morning. So I was just dying laughing. He's just like, I can't find my phone. I can't find anything. I don't know where anything went. So it's a huge party at the end, which was just like really cool to see. Like you don't really expect that, but yeah, towards the closing the ending ceremonies there, it was a huge party.
Were you able to go watch other events if you wanted to? Like, and if so, which ones did you go check out, or were you the most interested in?
Yeah, so there's parts where some things that can't be in the same area. So like bobsled has to have like its own area. There was like 3 villages, and we were in the main village where there's like a pretty decent amount of sports. So we went to like speed skating, the long track, the short track. We went to that huge, I don't even know what you call it, but that huge pipe where there's snowboarders and skiers, and they do a ton of tricks. Went to go see those 2. I got to remember here. There's a few, but a lot of them, like the half pipe is in a different area. The bobsled was in a different area. Some of the downhill skiing, they're all kind of spread out that we couldn't make it there. It was too far. So, those were the main ones we watched, but like, it was still so much fun to go to those and just see it live. It's pretty outrageous.
did like the fake Russian team win that one? They couldn't be called Russia, but they were Russia, like the Soviet Union of dopers. It was like a
yeah, the athletes from Russia. I think it was Finland. Finland won.
really.
I don't think we were even paying attention. We were kind of so upset about losing. But yeah, I think Finland might have beat, I want to say, Sweden in the final. They were, I mean, it was mostly just to finish like a Liga all-star team.
Yeah.
But there were some really good players, really good teams there. Canada had a really good team. We played them. Yeah, so there was a lot of great teams, but it was it's going to be interesting this year with the the best on best and bringing the NHL players. It'll be a fun time to watch.
So you bring that up, and it's like, man, watching the speed of the four nations, like how you skate, like that's got to be, a big goal of yours to somehow make that team, right?
No, for sure. I mean, watching the four nations, sitting down, watching on TV, like you're itching to be out there. Like it looks like such fun hockey, and I think everyone had their eyes on that game. So, yeah, I mean, it would be obviously a huge honor to make that team and to go play there. I'm obviously gonna have to work my tail off this early year to earn a spot and show that I can play that role that they need. So, yeah, hopefully my name gets called, but it's out of my control for now.
I joked about it when we first started this interview, but that big ticket you signed this offseason, I believe that's a hometown discount. I was so thrilled that you came in under, I believe you just came in under $8 million. What was the first thing that you ended up buying with the signing bonus? Are you a pretty reserved guy when it comes to flexing the dough?
I get asked that a lot. I haven't bought anything really. I don't know what to buy, to be honest. Like,
do you rent in Toronto?
Yeah, I rent a place. You can't really purchase because there's a huge like foreign tax to purchase a place. So I'm not allowed to purchase a place really, is what I'm told. But so yeah, I don't really know. I think I just had a comfortable summer, spending it wisely and nothing crazy. I think some of the guys kind of give me shit every now and then. I don't own any watches or any crazy pairs of shoes, so I think those guys are like telling me like they're gonna take me out or something and force me to buy something. But
so when you see
right
Matthew's style, you're just like, that's not. I don't have that. Like I don't like that's. Not
I don't know. Like him and Willie, like they kind of wear like baggy stuff that's like designer, and I don't know. I don't really care too much. I'm walking into the rink, I'm walking back. Like it's not like I'm like really showing off anything. I don't need anything crazy, but yeah.
Well, we saw when were we there, Biz? When we saw Nylander out at
oh yeah, we were at the All-Star game.
All-Star.
So it was All-Star game, and Nylander's in the other room. He's got I think it was a white or pink just tank top on.
It was a white
he's wearing
tank top.
and he looked good. He looked good. And Biz is like, that tank top's probably $1,300.
His nipples were hard as rocks because it was freezing outside. This guy's rocking a fucking bra out in the wintertime.
That's no surprise. I feel like he wears the white beater a lot. So
you got even Max Domi is a bit of a fashionista as well. So you guys got quite a few guys on that team.
There is. There's a lot of good examples out there that I should start following. Maybe I'll catch the train, and I'm curious what they're gonna do with the no dress code now. So I'll see what they do, and I'll try to follow whatever it is if it's not too crazy.
Who's the guy that would maybe chirp one of their outfits when they come in? Like, what are the veterans that kind of keep those guys honest, who can give it to them? Because we just mentioned two of the top dogs in Nylander and Matthews, where I don't think anybody's going to say shit to them for the most part.
No one. I mean, I'm not going to do it. No one's going to do it. Everyone's just like, that's just them now. Like we're just like so used to them wearing that stuff. I don't know. I think everyone really chirps me about my suit. They're like, "Oh, it's the same one again." And
I meant more chirping those guys. Like
I
chirping those guys.
I don't think anyone chirps those guys. I don't think. I don't know. I think that they feel dumb if they do.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, you get a one-way ticket out of town.
While we're on this core four, which this is probably the last time we're allowed to say because I don't want Chief hunting me down. But you lived with Tavares, I saw, your first year. What was that like? What's he like to that locker room? He's a constant pro. Can you give us a little peek behind the curtain with him?
I was really fortunate to live with him, for him to open his doors to me, to live with his family, to live with his kids. Like it was really eye-opening, honestly, for a kid that was, 19, 20 coming in there, and just seeing how professional he is and how dialed in to his routine, his eating habits, his treatment habits, how prepared he is, how early he shows up, how much time he takes at the rink. Like it was completely shocking to me. But yeah, living with them was, you pick up a lot of things that you're like, I'm not doing it right. Like there's things I'm missing. There's little things that it could help me get a little bit of an advantage, make me a little bit better players. So I picked up a lot from him, and yeah, he's been huge for our locker room, for a leadership standpoint, for being an example for the young guys, for being vocal, for taking on a lot. Like he takes on a lot of weight. So he's been huge. He was a huge influence on me doing well the first 2 years, and yeah, one of the most welcoming and professional humans I've ever met.
What were the biggest things? Was it diet? Was it recovery? And what were the biggest things that you pulled away from him, or even anyone since you've been playing pro, that you've had to implement that have made a big difference?
Yeah, I mean, jokingly, he's so pro that, like, I remember I'd stay with him before the season started, and he'd have like a charity game, and he's coming back from it. And I was opening the fridge. I opened the fridge, and it says like post charity game meal. Like he already has his meal prepped, and like he comes home, like he would shower and throw on his blue light glasses, and it would already be like 6:30, 7 p.m. Like it's way before I'm going to bed, and he's already getting himself ready and making sure he has a good sleep so he could wake up early in the morning. And his first routine when he wakes up is he gets straight out of bed and goes straight to the cold tub for 3 minutes. And I don't know about you guys.
That's hard on a bed, dude.
Oh,
that's what I was saying. I'm laying in my cozy bed for 10 more minutes and snoozing, and I'm laid out the door kind of thing. But he's next level with that kind of stuff. But like little things like that, just how important it is. I took that on, and I think on game days, like he just does extra. Like he comes home and he's still doing more work on, if it's a little bit of like Pilates work or core work, he's in there while while I sat on the couch and watched TV and was just trying to prepare for the game. And trying to relax and take my mind off it. He was still grinding in there. And so, yeah, sometimes you just got to applaud it, and you're like, this is just who he is. This is, it's pretty fun to watch, to be honest.
Well, now he's basically playing for free the next couple of years. What a fucking hometown deal that was too, stepping up as a leader.
For sure.
It's our year, baby.
Yeah, while we're on this Leafs talk and our year and everything, I don't know if you're familiar with Biz, but he is an ambassador for your team, and he got a jacket this year. And the big discussions online is should he hand the jacket back in, or do you guys want him to have the jacket?
You
for
tell
one
me
more
what
season?
you want.
He was given the jacket by
jacket.
Shanny. Shanny's not there.
I wanted to have the jacket because I remember when I was like first picked by Toronto, and Biz was at Donor's house, and I think he had a little bit too much wine, and he was running around the house. He goes, "Where's my little maple leaf?" And then he finally found me, and he dapped me up, and he was like, "It's like." So I think he deserves it. He's been a long core fan, so he deserves to keep it.
I appreciate you boys, but if I'm a bit of a distraction, I have no problem handing the jacket over.
No,
if I have to stay away, I'll stay away, but I'll be there for your guys' game against Detroit on the 13th, which is that Monday Amazon game, and I'm excited to see how you guys shake things out. And you guys lost Marner, but I really like the way you guys addressed other needs. You guys got Matthias Machele and Roy and like Dakota Joshua, where I have no idea why the Vancouver Canucks gave him away. So all of a sudden, I know you lose Marner, who's such a valuable piece, but you guys get bigger and deeper. So from your guys' chances this year, I like even better than the last couple of years.
Yeah. I mean, we had some really key pieces that are going to be huge for our team. A lot of great players. Nick Waugh and Dakota Joshua are two big players who are going to play physical and play hard, and change the identity of the forward group for sure. And then Machele is just really skilled, really fast, can make plays. Like there's really great ads. I think obviously I'm not going to be around the bush. There's a huge void with Mitch leaving. You can't really replace that kind of a player and the superstar he is. So, but I think we did a great job of adding pieces that are going to definitely help. And I think with all of our trust in Tree and Chief, I think we're going to have a strong team. I think with them both coming back, and this is finally their team, and I think we we did a great job in the offseason, and yeah, I'm really excited to see what we can do during the year and in the playoffs.
I'm wondering how it's been for you, like with the pressure that comes along with playing in Toronto. And it's Canada, but Toronto's even a different beast, and just the amount of reporters and looking for stories and kind of forcing subjects when they really have nothing to write about. How has that like come for you? Like, are you like okay with it? Do you get frustrated by it, or has it been easier maybe being like the fifth guy the past couple of years?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit of all of that, to be honest. Like I think a lot of the weight was taken off my shoulders by those guys. But then like living with Johnny, you realize like you don't got to listen to any of that stuff. You don't focus on that. You just focus on the game. You know, I don't think he's never throwing on, you know, any of the reporters when he comes home from a game. He's throwing on other games. He's throwing on the games on the West Coast. So it's like you focus on just hockey in general. You don't focus on what other people are saying. And I think that's kind of what I got from Johnny too, is just you don't got to worry about any of that stuff. It doesn't matter what they say. You know, just play your game. And when you're in the media, just, you know, speak your truth and you know, you don't have to say what they want to hear. You just say what you think. And yeah, just know that, you know, there always comes another day, and you gotta work your tail off, and they'll be happy.
I got a two-part question for you. Two parts here. First up, you know, you're in the NHL. I want to know what your favorite city's been on the road, and then I'm going to try to set you up here. What city are you looking forward to going to this season?
Anaheim's always a good trip. I actually like Anaheim. My first year, we stayed at Pelican Hill, and we had a day off, and we got a golf. Unbelievable course, right on the water.
Place is sick.
It's really, really nice. My best buddy, Jackson McComb, was there, so I always got to catch up with him, which is really nice. I love New York. New York's a fun time. There's just so much to do. I feel like we always have a lot of time and days off or practice days there that we could just kind of enjoy the city a little bit. So I think those are probably my main two. Every city's been fun. Like it's cool. Like my first few years, just every new city is different, and you know it's all new to me. So it's all fun to go out with dinner with the guys and stuff and see it. It's been nice.
You missed the boat there. I'm trying to set you up here where you got to be looking forward to a special road trip this season.
Yeah, I'm excited for Vegas. Yeah, it'll be.
No, you're still not getting it. You still missed it. You got to say Boston.
What do you mean? Why Boston?
I got in my notes here. You got the girlfriend drafted by the Boston Fleet.
Oh, that's right.
Funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
She's going to be all over you now.
Yeah, I know. Now if she hears this, she'll be, yeah. That's so funny.
That's why Cornelli thought you would end up with the Bruins somehow. He's like, his girlfriend was drafted by the Bruins. I'm like, gee, fuck off.
Yeah, Toronto had the next pick, so that's a huge bummer. But it happens.
Did they tell her that they were going to pick her if she would have went to the next pick?
I think so. I think we kind of had it pretty locked in, I want to say, but
that's just more reason for you to fucking run the Bruins through the wall for fucking with you and your family. That's payback.
Yeah. What do the Bruins have to do? Lay off the Bruins, bitch. Jesus.
Yeah, hey, I mean, it happens.
I got to ask about the contract. I know Biz brought it up. I was saying at the time, I'm like, 10 million years in overpay. No offense, you'll end up being there. But I was like, I think if it's 8.5 to 9.2, like that's going to be a nice deal. Then it came in, and as a Leafs hater, no offense again, I was like, how the fuck did they get him to sign that? Like, you could have gotten more money. Is that more, hey, leave some more for the team? Like, I'm happy with this, or I just love this city so much. This is what they're offering. Like, kind of take us through the negotiation.
There was a note in Tavares' fridge. This is all we're giving you. You better fucking take it.
I mean, I think it's very fairly compensated. Yeah, I've only played 2 years in the NHL, and
Biz, this is nice. Biz,
I'm gonna
put my hand in my pants. Take me off the screen here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like it's more than, you know, I wanted to be long term, and I think that was just the number that fit for both of us. And you know, I knew that they had the opportunity to do it right before free agency, so they could, you know, start making some moves. And yeah, I think we both settled on a very comfortable number that made us both happy and made it easy on them, so that in free agency they can get right to work and really start focusing on the rest of our team. But I thought it's more than fair, and me not being that of an experience of a player, I think it's I'm extremely happy with it. I'm really fortunate that they invested a lot of years and a lot of money into me, and so I couldn't be happier, and I hope they are too. I still gotta make sure it's worthwhile here, and I still got 6 years to work my ass off to make it worth their money.
I only had a few more hockey ones until we started maybe talking about what you like to do around the city for fun. But your relationship with Chief, like, how was it when he first came in? And like, player coaches relationships are a little different than they were in the past, right? And he's more old school, but I feel like he's really adapted in how he communicates to the guys. And what's it been like working with him, and just all the respect in the world you probably have for him?
He's a very personable coach. He's very easy to talk to on and off the ice, whether it's about hockey or it's not about hockey. I think he's the kind of guy that, when he does a pregame speech, you want to run through a wall. He's so easy to play for, and he's so highly motivated. And so yeah, he's been incredible. And I think, the way he sees the game, I think, is a lot on how I play, where it's north-south, very simple, hard-nosed hockey. And that's why I think we had a really good relationship, and I think we were able to kind of feed off each other. And I think he's been huge for my career. So I'm excited that he's back and that I can keep growing with him and keep learning from him.
And the follow-up I had was, obviously not the result you guys wanted, but how much experience did you gain last postseason and just going against the champs and realizing what it takes to win? I know you guys were this close, but just you had a great run, but like, what did you take away from last year's playoff run?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard because once that Game 7's over, you try to put it behind you as quickly as possible. You don't want to think about that stuff. I think we kind of shit the bed in Game 7, so we didn't want to think about that. But I think our takeaway was mostly that our consistency was just not there as much. I think Game 1 and 2, I think we dominated. I think we had great games. Came out with the W, and then I think we slowly kind of took our foot off the pedal and just let them in. And obviously they're an incredible team and structured so well and so deep that you can't really give them any ounce to breathe, because if we do that, they'd come back, and they did. So I think our just consistency to play the same way Game 1 that we did games, what I'm saying, Game 1 to Game 7, play the same way. And I just don't think we did that well enough, in that series. And I think that's just the difference maker for us.
It's a different feeling for you there too, because in your, it's 2 full years, but 3 playoffs, you've got to the second round twice. So like, you're kind of like not as used to, what people say about they can't even get out of the first round. So for you, I imagine you're thinking, listen, like, this team, like, we can win a Stanley Cup based on the guys that are here and like the success that you have had in the past 3 seasons.
No, for sure. I mean, again, you're not going to win it every year, but like it's going to take, it's going to take a lot of consistency. And I just don't think we've had a little bit of that when it came to the clinching games, the 5, 6, 7. I think we just haven't had our best games. And I think once we have our best games at those times of the year, I think we're going to be just fine, and we're going to make it and win. I think we just got to, again, play the same way we do Game 1 and 2 in 5 and 6, 7, and we'll be totally fine.
I meant to ask when you brought up Jackson Lacombe earlier, being a former defenseman, like, I didn't know much about him. Like, he's not often do people stay 4 years in college now. He wasn't a first-round pick. It was second round still, but like, I didn't know much. And now I see some Anaheim games, but more talking to players and scouts. They're like, he's so good. Like, did you see this coming? Like, was he a late bloomer? How has his career gone with you guys being so close?
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of had a different path. Like, he didn't play juniors. Like, he played static U18 and got drafted. And I'm pretty sure he was like 2 picks out of the first round. And there's just so much potential there when he was drafted. And I was kind of confused. I didn't really think people could do that. I thought every kid plays in the CHL or somewhere in Europe, plays juniors. And and then I came in and he was a junior my freshman year. And I mean, the guy's so talented. He's so patient with the puck. He's got so much skill. He skates so well. He makes the right play. Like, I mean, he was running our first power play both years I was there, and Brock Faber wasn't on either of our power play. So he was that skilled. Like he has a lot to him. And that's I'm not shocked at all that he's having success, that he had such a great year last year, because he's just so smart and holds the puck so well and skates it so well. And yeah, I mean, it's nice to be able to train with him in the summer, because it's hard to compete with him. I feel like you always chase him down, and he's always making the right play. And yeah, it's fun to watch him.
Did you play in the beauty league?
I didn't. No, I think I got asked to early on, but they have a lot of bodies, and I heard I want to say it's kind of falling off. Like it's kind of going downhill.
Ooh.
I think the competitiveness I heard is a little bit different nowadays than it was before. And yeah, I heard it was too long earlier, and now they kind of shortened it up a little bit. And I think guys are, I don't know. I haven't done it yet, so I can't tell you, but that's what I'm hearing.
I got to ask about your other summer roommate, because Grinnell is a huge, college hockey expert for us about Snuggerud. And, we saw him a little bit in the playoffs, but more about him, and can he win the Calder this year?
I think he definitely has a chance. I think he's going to score a ton of goals. I've never seen someone shoot the puck harder than he does.
Matthews?
Yeah, I mean, Matthews
Wow.
is, with Matthews' wrist shot, it's uncomparable. I think he's the best at it in the league. His snapshot, his wrist shot is unbelievable. But I think Snugger is one-timer. I think that there's a handful of guys that can do it, and he's definitely one of them. I'm sure you're going to see it a lot on the flank, on the power play this year. I mean, the guy can absolutely wire it. Like he did it so much in college. You just give him the puck, and he just anywhere. I don't know how he does it, but it's literally top corner, left, right. I don't even know if he's choosing. He's just ripping as hard as he can. But yeah, he's probably one of the best shooters that I've played with in my career, obviously other than Auston. But he's definitely going to score a lot of goals. So I think he has a real shot at the Calder for sure.
Quickly with the fun stuff, you guys just had your Toronto Maple Leafs golf tournament. It was broken up into 2 teams. Are you allowed to tell us who won, or is that like a content video that's going to be coming out?
It was like a charity golf event, so we get like a sponsor of foursome. So we get like Rogers and MLSE and Adidas and stuff like that. Everyone gets like their own sponsor.
Oh, you played with 4 guys, like random guys.
Yeah, with just like a sponsor for our team and stuff. So, but we have like our trip in Muskoka. We usually do like a scramble format. We get we just kind of randomize and do teams. So I'll let you know on the results of that. That's coming up. Yeah, it should be week and a half, 2 weeks.
So they cut down the roster, and then you guys go for this team building experience to Muskoka, which these guys are trying to tell me it's got like the best boating, but like, come on here. We all know fucking Vancouver and the island do over here.
I don't know what. I've never heard of Vancouver. Honestly, I didn't know that Vancouver boats.
Okay.
I'm a
That's
Minnesota boy,
exactly
so
what
I
I
think
said. I'm
Minnesota's
like,
not.
you're telling me. He said it was like describing being in Hawaii when you're talking about Vancouver. Now he's shown me some pictures, and I think he had AI come up with something that it says.
No.
Top
I'm
5
talking
in the
about
world.
the Gulf Islands, boys. And then if you go over to the Tofino side, it's got a Hawaii feel to it. So I guess we could maybe throw up what do you call those when you ask the internet, a poll. Other things. Who if you got trapped in a room with one of your teammates, who would you want to bring with you? Who would be the funniest guy that would make it fly by?
I'm trapped in what?
In a room, let's say, and you know it's going to be
in his
boring as
basement
fuck.
when he kidnaps you.
There's honestly a lot of guys. I like. You guys got to get Scott Lawton on this podcast. He's probably one of the funniest,
Yans was telling us
guys.
about him.
I had one wedding with
hilarious.
him. Oh my god, dude, he's fucking unbelievable.
What makes him so funny?
Dude, it's kind of Knies would know better. I was with him one night, but he's like his voice kind of is hilarious,
Yeah.
like how he says things. It's
his like timing of everything, and like I think he says everything that comes to his mind. Like he doesn't let anything hold back. Like everything, he's like nonstop talking about something, or like I think he says hi to me like 6 times a day. Like it's just like he's just nonstop rambling about something new. So I think he would be just like entertaining. But I think the only guy that would probably get me through is probably Morgan Riley. So we could actually I think he's just so funny. And yeah, I love that guy. So I think he would be my pick. I think Lots wouldn't shut up. And I think I would kind of lose my mind. So
it would turn into a Saw movie where you'd fucking kill him.
Yeah.
Yans also said Lots like vicious shit talker on the ice. He said he was like probably top 3 he ever played with.
Well, they probably needed him for that Florida series.
It's comedy what he comes up with. I like, you just like, sometimes you sit back and you chuckle. Like you can't stand it. And he's like so serious. And it's funny because when you're playing against him, you're like, oh, this guy like sounds ruthless. And then you just like know you like get to know him and you're like, oh my God, like
he's a clown.
It's just he's just funny. And yeah, I mean, I love just standing next to him on the bench and just nonstop, whatever's on his mind, whoever's in front of him, someone's getting a piece of it. So
I also love that like he's a dog. Like I love his game. Like I think he'll be nice for you guys this year. Getting him with 2 years left, like for 2 playoffs was huge.
Yeah, I mean he helps in our locker room a lot too. Like he makes everyone so much more comfortable and such a personable guy and gets along with everyone. I think he's a very big glue guy. You know, I think he brings everyone together. So I think that's a huge part of where he can help out as well. And yeah, on the ice, obviously he's a dog, and yeah, he's going to be huge for us.
How long till when he was in the locker room was he like that? Because normally there's a little bit of a feeling out process, or was it day one? It's just he comes in hot.
It was day one, and we were playing. I don't even know where we were, but we were playing like sewer, and he would like sewer somebody and like chirp them, and like I'm like we like look at each other like, is this guy serious? Like what is he doing?
He just got here.
And yeah, and he's already going after guys, and he picked it up so quick, and I think like it felt like he was on our team the whole year after just 2 days. So yeah, again, he's really good at that stuff. So
where are you going out to eat in Toronto, and are you on the Jays train right now? Are you a big Diamondbacks guy? Like what's going on here?
I'm a little bit on the Jays train. I know that playoffs is coming around, so I'm hoping to get out to a game, or hopefully get to go do some like the batting practice and stuff, which would be really cool. Going out to eat, honestly, I live like very close to King Street, so there's a ton of bars and restaurants that are fun to go to, and I haven't really explored too much yet. Like we don't get like that crazy amount of time, so I'm still kind of new to everything and trying different things out. But there's definitely a few key spots. Like I don't know if you've been to like Quetzal. But that's like me and Waller's go to. It's like a Mexican Michelin, and we love it over there. But yeah, anything on King Street is usually a great time for us.
Love that. Well, buddy, this is awesome. I don't know if you guys have any more questions, but I think I've hit my limit.
If somebody thinks of a great question here, I'm going to try as I read this Roback ad. We got to shout out Roback, Kniesy. Roback, last question. Use code Chiclets on roback.com for generous 20% off your purchase through the end of the week. That's CHICLETS on RHOBACK.com. 20% off polos, hoodies, joggers, and more. Code Chiclets. I guess, fuck, you just answered. I was going to ask for one restaurant. I didn't know there was a Michelin star Mexican.
I got one.
What?
Is it our year?
I think it's our year.
Just end this.
Let's go, baby.
I think it's our year.
Oh, I'm being told something. Talk about restaurants. Grinelli got info that you have like a sick addiction to Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, that was a me.
You're 235 on Chick-fil-A.
No. Back it up. This was pre-professional hockey. This was college. I think it was in college you play Friday, Saturday. So Sunday through Thursday is like you could do whatever really. And I think Mondays, me, Cooley, and Snuggerud, we would always go to Chick-fil-A. That was like our number one spot, and it was just a huge joke on our team and stuff that we always loved it, and
it is unbelievable.
It was nice bonding time for us as a line, so it was pretty fun. But then as soon as I got here and I told Johnny about it, I think he kind of looked at me with 3 heads and he was like, "What are you doing?" So it stopped from there.
I thought it was called Chick-a-Filla or Chicken-Filla. Yeah,
you haven't been, hey?
No, like early days. Then I figured it out. Somebody corrected me, but I got a bone to pick with them. I asked them one time if they could leave the chicken in a little longer so it could be a little crispier, and they basically told me to fuck off.
They're the most well-run restaurant.
No surprise. Biz with a special order.
Well, they
special
got an
order at fast
time.
food.
The exact time they leave the chicken in for, but I was just like, hey, do you mind leaving it in for an extra 10 seconds so we can get a little bit crispier? And they were like, no. And
I think it's a pretty wild ask, though. I don't think I go to McDonald's and get the bun toasted or anything.
Well, while we're on this kind of food, though, I did want to ask you, have you gotten into the poutine culture of Canada?
No, I don't like it at all. We have some French guys too, like Benoit, like always tells me how good it is, and no, I'm not a fan.
He's a greasy Frenchman, though. How many samples you asking for if you go to like an ice cream shop and you've never been there before? Would you ask how many?
He only signed for 7.5. There's no way he asked for samples.
Let him answer the question.
Oh, I think he does.
Probably, I think one or two.
I like
Definitely.
I like this guy.
Typical Leaf.
I think you're
Typical
crazy.
Leaf, biz.
If you don't ask for a sample, I think you're crazy.
Yes.
Oh, buddy. This is Leafs Nation, Mar. This is what I have to deal with. This is what I have to deal with.
One or two per scoop, right?
What's this? What are you talking about?
I meant like
Per
if you're
scoop.
getting 3 scoops, you're allowed up to 6 samples.
Okay, I'm not getting 3 scoops of anything though.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
3 scoops is pretty. That's where I'm. That's the road to 240.
Well, I ain't
And I
living
can't
with
get on the
JT. I ain't living with JT. I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah, I was a little bit off the rails when I left this place, so I'm trying to dial in.
Buddy, this has been awesome.
Thank you
really
so much,
appreciate
man.
your time, and I can't wait for the
course.
parade. I can't
Of
wait.
course.
Just
Yeah, I know.
save me some room on the float.
Yeah, we will. We will for sure.
Hey, great talking to you, man. Good luck this year.
Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
Guys, Whit here. And if you're looking, Body Armor, boom. This episode is brought to you by the Body Armor Sports Drink. We thank these people for producing this incredible tasting water. Strawberry banana right here, the sports drink, the beautiful bottle. They're at Chiclets Cup. They're always a part of us. We're one with Body Armor, and Body Armor has great tasting flavors. I always bring up strawberry banana. We always bring up orange mango, but there's others, and there's no dyes, no artificial crap, no flavors, sweeteners, in a bold new look with the same great taste. Get your Body Armor today at Walmart or local grocery store near you. Body Armor. Choose better. Thank you so much to Matthew Knies. I think he's going to have a monster year. I would not be surprised to see him on the U.S. Olympic team based on his skating. Before we get into the Bruins, guys, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Our merch is live. 100% of the net proceeds will go towards supporting 5 under 40. They're dedicated to providing funded medical, wellness, educational, and beauty services to women under the age of 40 who've been diagnosed with breast cancer or have a BRCA mutation. And we're close to this. This company paid for Alana and helped her a lot with her battle.
Yeah, it's an awesome company. It's 5 under 40. And I think, like, I've talked about this before, but like a woman gets breast cancer, their first question is like their hair, their beauty, what are they going to do? And this company reached right out to Alana right when she posted that she had breast cancer, and they funded her wig, and wigs are so fucking expensive. That's the crazy thing, is wigs are like thousands of dollars. So the fact that they could take that load off of us, and it's not just wigs, it's wellness, it's beauty, it's all these different things that they do. So let's sling some merch. We got some good stuff here. It's if we could buy a couple wigs for some girls, I think that would be awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, barstoolsports.com, Canadian store, US store. Go hit it hard.
Well done, G.
And the merch is great. I love how it came out. It's awesome.
We actually have some cool 47 brand hats too. I know we have that partnership with 47 brand, so they actually have some cool breast cancer hats for us as well that are available in the store as well. So check those out.
This is actually a tough segue now because G can't leave because we're going to be talking about the shitbag Bruins now.
G, quickly, can I tell you?
This is tough. This is tough. Sorry, G.
Projected point total is 80.5, and DraftKings has them listed to win the Atlantic Division plus 10,000. So
whoa,
that's the lowest, and they're coming off a last place finish in the division last year.
Yep.
I think you're a tank for McKenna guy.
Yep. Miserable for McKenna.
Miserable for McKenna. Okay. Some people, like I mentioned, have told me I think they're going to surprise. I don't see it. Tell me why that would happen. If they're right around 90 points, fighting for a playoff spot last week of the season.
Well, Swayman got to do all of training camp. That's a positive.
That is a positive.
Good point, Biz.
But I mean, they're healthy. They're healthier this year than in years past. I think the back end it's still a good back end. I mean, Charlie McAvoy, Mason Lohrei, Nikita Zadorov, like they have guys that can play. Like Lindholm he's coming in healthy this year. His knee is finally good. So I think defense and back end, but I'm not one of those guys who thinks they're going to be a good hockey team this year. I do think they're going to be a tough team to play against. I think they'll play some entertaining hockey throughout the season. I mean, David Pastrnak is David Pastrnak at the end of the day. Charlie McAvoy is Charlie McAvoy at the end of the day. We saw what McAvoy did in Four Nations. So I think best case scenario is competitive hockey all the way through the trade deadline. And then that's when you go trade Victor Arvidsson, the Jonas Korpisalo, the confusing moves that people made this summer. that the Bruins made this summer, if you trade those guys and you get first round picks and you start building again for the future, I think the fans will understand a little bit. I think my biggest question is, it's all like, this season is supposed to be about the youth, right? Like in the end of the season press conference, that was really what Don Sweeney and Cam Neely harped on was, we're going to the youth. It's finally the kids' time. There's on the projected roster, there's 2 guys under 25 years old. It's Fraser Minton and Mason Lowry. So that's my biggest concern is like, we're not developing the youth. We're playing guys like Victor Arvidsson. Fabian Lysell still isn't getting a crack at the lineup. Georgi Merkulov, that kid, he's a lost cause at this point. So I'm a bit worried. I'm a bit worried at the fact that they're not playing the youth heading into this season. Hopefully, as the season goes on, maybe you'll see these guys get a chance. But like Matty Patra, why isn't this guy cracking the lineup?
Well,
yet?
as Jans does say, it's not a development league. It's not. That's what Providence is for. You mentioned health. I was reading about tendonitis in Pasternak's knee that was lingering from last year. Is that still a thing? Like, is
yeah.
he?
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
God.
he sat out a bit from in the training camp and in the preseason. And you know what? Sit him down. Halfway through the season, I don't give 2 fucks. Sit David Pastrnak down for the year. Go back to the Czech Republic.
Yeah, but come on.
You don't want to see Pastrnak play this year?
Competitor.
You said they'd play entertaining games.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you about too.
Play that. Did you guys see Gavin McKenna play the other night? If getting Gavin McKenna on this roster means sitting David Pastrnak for the year, I'm doing it 10 out of 10 times.
Well, it's Olympic year, so he wants to play. That's
very true.
That's not going to happen. And you said exciting brand of hockey. That was probably my one takeaway from last year was when you would watch Bruins games. Oh, that was fuck. I'd rather watch our us against the Stranglers ball hockey. I think that we could probably sell more tickets. It was more entertaining. It was watching paint dry. They have no speed and they're boring.
That's why they went and got guys, I think, like Tanner Jeannot. At least drop the mitts. Like, go drop the mitts and get the crowd going because there's nothing else to cheer for on this team.
That was another
Jeannot hasn't done that. Jeannot hasn't done that since his first year. Ever since his first year when he came in, he was, he had 20, and like 100 and something penalty minutes. He hasn't done that since. He doesn't play the way that he did the first year, but they need him to play like he did that first year in Nashville.
They're paying him like he's about to score 25. They gave him, I mean, we could list off the deal. Was that not one of the more surprising deals this offseason? I believe it was a 4 or 5 year deal.
Yeah, 5-year deal.
He had to get to the floor.
Yeah, a 5-year deal, I believe around $2 million per year. But yeah,
I
not
think
great.
It was more than that.
What if Casey Middlestat, what if he's awesome? What if he gets 70 points?
You know what would be great, Whit? If Casey Middlestat's awesome and then there's a team at the trade deadline that's willing to give up a big haul for him.
He's younger. I thought you need some youth.
He's 26. He's 26. He's not that young. It's like if it hasn't happened yet, it hasn't happened. And again, Casey Middlestat is not the 2C of the future for the Boston Bruins. He's not even.
Okay, you don't even have a 1C.
We don't. We absolutely don't. But
I heard Lindholm looks good though.
I
heard Lindholm has looked really good in preseason.
Really? Yeah, I think he'll have a
but
much
like if you have another year, like last year, Pasta had 106 points, and the next guy had 57 points. Like
that's actually
if you have another
nuts.
year, it's insane. Like if you have another year like that of Pasta, at what point does he say, like if they don't get McKenna, when does he say, "Hey guys, I'm out of here"?
So when I go back to the Pasta thing, I'm not saying we're shutting it down here in November, but you get through the trade deadline. You deal away half the roster. The Olympics has already been played at this point. At that point, wouldn't you sit back and say, fuck, well, my knee's killing me. It's been killing me all season. The team's not going to win any more games this year. If I sit out, maybe we have a better shot at getting not only Gavin McKenna, this Keaton Verhoff kid at North Dakota is supposedly going to be an unbelievable defenseman. Any other year, he's going number 1 overall. So I don't know. I would sit him down the second Olympics ends. I would fucking sit David Pastrnak in the press
box. He's too much of a competitor. He ain't.
He is.
And you're selling, this is like NBA talk here. Like people are going to the games to see him play.
That's how down bad we are. That's all I have. This is all I have to resort to is Gavin McKenna. Like Gavin McKenna or Keaton Verhoff is all I have to cling to. And the Boston College Bruins.
So Tanner Jeannot, $3.4 million.
For how many years?
5.
That's good for him.
I was a little surprised. Good for his agent.
Very surprising.
He does.
Someone told me that it was BC playing Merrimack, and the Bruins had 7 guys between the two teams. Like, we got to scout outside of Massachusetts here, Bruins, if we want to get good. No,
It's crazy. 6 guys. They have 6 guys on just the BC Eagles alone. It's fucking wild.
Well, if the Eagles pop off and go on a run this year, and these guys make big contributions, you're looking at like, wow, we got a bunch of kids coming up that already know each other. So I'm just Mr. Positivity in this group. I really am. Now, having said that, I'm pretty sure all of us have them missing the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think they get more points than what was it? 80
and a half.
I think they get more points than that just because of Swayman. Their back end is decent, but it's like, yeah, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, but if I was a betting man, I'd take the over in points.
All right.
I like that. I got them missing playoffs.
Yeah.
And they ain't doing shit. And I'm happy to see that the shitbag Bruins are no longer a threat to the Toronto
this is
Maple
a time
Leafs.
that's nice for you. They owned you for so long, year after year, and now it's like they're down.
It's nice.
But Florida took
that
that
for
for
them.
them.
Win, though. It's the only way. Kachuk has to get hurt. Barkov has to get hurt. The Bruins dynasty has to come to an end. It's the only way the Leafs do it.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels great. Other than Barkov and Kachuk being injured. I know I don't want to get scalded for that again, even though I said Leafs year when that went down.
Leafs year. A fan base we're going to get to now that I think maybe he's feeling good this time every year. Like it's over. We're going to make the playoffs. We can't go 13 straight years. No, it's over. It's a new year. We can't go 14 straight years. The Buffalo Sabres, if they miss the playoffs this year, it'll be 15 straight years. It's the longest record in pro sports right now, currently, I believe, tied with the New York Jets. Somebody correct me, G, if I'm wrong there. It's been ugly. It's been ugly for a long time. I don't know, guys.
They got one chance.
It's more of the same, guys.
They got one chance.
Let's hear it.
Alex Lyon. That's their only hope.
Did win the Panthers the Stanley Cup 2 years ago.
No, they lost that
3
year.
years ago. He got them into the playoffs. Yeah,
that was the year he got them in, though.
But he got them in.
Wait,
and then
wasn't he? Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Okay,
and then he played with Detroit, and then almost got them in. So Alex Lyon, in my opinion, is their only hope. And guys, this lineup didn't get better; it got worse. They got rid of JJ Peterka last year. Hey. I'm excited for Josh Doan to get some some playing time and be a regular. I think that he could be a great contributor to that team, but this team sucks. They should just be kissing the ground in Buffalo at the fact that they have Josh Allen and that the Bills are good.
That's all you. I like their D, kinda.
How long have we been saying that, bud? How long? Rasmus Dahlin should be on the Toronto Maple Leafs is where he should be.
All right, dude.
What do you mean, dude? They need a number 1 D-man. That's their guy right there.
We're trying to make Buffalo feel good. There. They haven't lost a game yet. Let's give them a day.
Yeah, give them a day.
Let's talk about their.
Give them 1 day.
The 1 week.
You know what? Maybe Lindy can bring them back.
That's another one. Lindy. It's just
right.
To not have Peterka. Maybe Josh Norris is great this year, right? You've seen moments of that. I know a tough trade for him from Ottawa. A lot of very close buddies.
Injury prone.
I like Tuck. I mean, Thompson is an absolute sniper. He bounced back last year. He's a fun player to watch. He's a monster. He got snubbed from Team USA. He's going to be on a mission. We're talking about good
the only
things for
competitive
Buffalo.
hockey he's going to be playing is at the Olympics.
Damn. I know, dude. I'm trying to pump I just feel bad. It's a hockey town. Fuck, it's a good market. And they got nothing. They've had nothing.
And they got Merle's moving back, too.
They got Merle's coming back. Now, the worst part is when I say they have nothing and they had nothing, they actually had a lot of guys that went on to win the Stanley Cup. That's the hardest part is they see Reinhart dominating. They see Eichel winning. They see Ryan O'Reilly go to St. Louis. They just see winners leaving. And then they're losing. And Buffalo fans, I mean, these people are good people. Good-hearted. Like, it's almost like you're in the Midwest. Just give them a beer. And they're nice. And they'll jump through a friggin' table. Allmark won the the goddamn Vezina right after he left. So let's give him a week, Biz, before you go Biz is putting Rasmus Dahlin on the Leafs before the opening puck drop of the season.
saying that's where he should be.
Hey, Utah's going to win the cup this year because Peterka's there.
I like that Zach Benson kid, though. He's a little shit disturber. Water bug out there who can make plays. I trained with him at a place called The Yard this summer. Taught him a few things.
Oh, God. How's his L5S1?
Oh, it's great.
Good.
Great.
Good.
Yeah. We weren't doing any like crazy jump squats. Bowen Byram, is he gonna take that step? Is he gonna be that guy that we kept hearing about when we were in Colorado? Owen Power, is he gonna? I want to see Owen Power out there fucking cross checking guys in the fucking spleen.
You've told me before that you think he could be Hedman. You're like, that guy could be Hedman.
I want him to be fucking Chris Pronger.
Meaner.
I want him to just come in and be a fucking killer. I want him fucking out there and warm up with the gag ball in his mouth, fucking looking across a red line. I'm gonna get you, motherfucker. But like
I see the fire in your eyes, Biz. I see it in your eyes.
That's what I want.
It's kind of like Aaron Ekblad. Like he got drafted first overall, just like Power. They come in maybe trying to be a little too offensive, but look at what Aaron Ekblad has turned his game into. Like he's big, he's mean, like
elbowing people in the face for no fucking reason. I love it.
Power's he's got to have that in his game, Biz. I agree with you 100%. If he brings that to his game, that changes their back end immensely.
I like Kesselring too. Kesselring. It's kind of like a Rob Scuderi type, Biz. I'm pumping up their D.
Army was big on him. That was the move. That was who they got for JJ Peterka, correct? Him and Donor.
Yeah, for the Peterka wanted out, but he was their best goal scorer. He was their best offensive threat. So when you say the roster's worse, Biz, I kind of agree with you. Goal scoring wise, at least, I do. And maybe Owen Power turns into Darian Hatcher. And you're sitting there and you're saying, look at the voice I have in the hockey world. I just turned maybe a softer, bigger, wannabe skilled player into a killer. He's got the ability. He's enormous and he flies.
Huge.
So Buffalo fans, we're thinking of you guys, honestly.
Yeah, we are.
We're thinking of you guys.
Bills, go.
I think we all have them out of the playoffs. And you have the Bills.
What do you got? Last guy came in. I think he was injured last year. Torn Achilles, I believe it was. Maybe not. Maybe I'm making that up. Jack Quinn.
Yeah. And he signed. I think that's basically the deal that Evangelista signed. Like that was
Show me something.
Yeah.
Show me something.
And Quinn was drafted high. Pretty high pick. And he lit up the AHL at an age when you see a lot of 30, 40 goal scorers in the NHL. If they're in the AHL, they kind of pop off like that. So those are the two probably basement dwellers in the Atlantic. These three teams, that's where it gets interesting. The eyes are playing, Biz. The eyes are playing. It's an interesting time in Detroit. I think they have some great young players who apparently look awesome in camp. You saw last year, like, I thought they were going to end up getting in. 2 years ago, the magic that occurred on the last night of the season. And then this past year, you're just wondering, like, they're missing one stud. They're kind of missing a game breaker. Now, on D, I love Sider. So can Edvidson take that big step? They were playing together. They were awesome together. Good enough that they had to be switched. They had to be moved apart, right? Coaching change, and let's make some changes here. So I love Larkin. I love DeBrincat. We'll see what Patrick Kane does. He's talking about, I want to make the Olympic team. Patty Kane, you never know. I mean, he's still very, very talented with the puck. He's producing points. Can he be even better? I don't know, though. I don't think I have him getting in, Biz. Before you say anything, I don't know if there's that much of a difference there.
Has Detroit, you said it, they need a game breaker. Have they found another diamond in the rough with the 7th round pick with Emmett Finney? All I'm hearing about in Detroit is this Emmett Finney.
Very
that
true.
He is a game changer.
They need the next Zetterberg and Datsuk. They need a diamond in the rough. I think personally that the Yzer plan is not being rushed. They are young. They do have these guys in the pipeline who will evolve into great NHL players that will help them get into the playoffs. They did, I think, somewhat address goaltending. Can Gibson stay healthy, right? Can we see the John Gibson in his prime we saw in Anaheim, but a guy who can play 55, 60 games and stay healthy, okay? I'm hearing a lot about this Casper kid too. He had a decent start last year when he came up. Is he going to continue to evolve? I just continue to look at this roster, though. It did get a little deeper. Like, I love that Appleton guy who came over from the Winnipeg Jets. I loved him in Winnipeg. I think he was part of that third line there for a hot minute. That Michael Rasmussen, I think that him as a fourth line center, I like that. That's
He's huge.
And then so is Soderblom on the left side on that four.
Talk about being mean.
He should, yes. Yeah.
I think that they got a little bit older. I think they got a little bit deeper. I think that they addressed the goaltending situation. I just don't think it's time. I don't think they make playoffs. I think they're going to be on that cusp. I don't want people to be like, oh, no, it's their time. It ain't. It ain't. The Yzer plan's not being rushed. They're going to figure it out, but it's going to take a little bit more time. You ain't Buffalo.
No.
But it's going to take a little more time.
They got two capable goalies. Like Cam Talbot, he's a very good backup. Like, he can win you some games. Bringing in James Van Riemsdyk, he's going to get you 15 to 20 goals. Like, a good veteran guy in the locker room. But I honestly think if they, like, what's Yzerman's leash? Like, I know he said as long as we're not making playoffs, like, it's still part of the Yzer plan. Like, it's still part of the progress. But, like, how long do you think his leash is, Biz?
I think he could miss playoffs for another 4 years.
4?
I think 4. Who the fuck are you going to hire to replace him? I don't think. I also don't. Who the fuck are they going to send in to fire him? Who the hell's got the
guy
big enough
walks
balls?
in? He's like, "Can we talk?" He's like, "I'm busy right now." He's like, "Okay."
Come
like,
back
I'll get you in
4
3
years.
years.
Get you in 3 years. This Sandin Pellikka from Sweden.
Yep.
I mean,
Young.
let's see, young, but smooth like silk. That's a guy who could, maybe at some point this year, all of a sudden he's like running the power play there. And you have Seider. Seider's an absolute monster. He's never missed a game. I don't think so. I don't think he's ever missed a game. He gets over 40 points. He plays all the tough minutes. He has all the tough matchups. Like, you have a stud there. Can he get to that next level? The level of where he's at, which is an awesome, like, true number 2 on a cup-winning team. Can he turn into a superstar? That's a huge difference. You guys know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it goes back to a tweet that I saw today, like Seider 24, Johansson 24, Raymond 23, Edvidson 22, Casper 21, Danielson 21, Pellikka 20, Finney 20, and then this Brandseg Nagard, who they seem to love, 20. So it's just they're still so young.
Yeah, they're young.
They're young. They're like
Man,
Montreal.
I kind of want to pick them to get in. Like, I want them to get in.
Same.
Well, then is Montreal getting in? I believe more in Montreal than I do the Detroit Red Wings.
I've seen a lot of things about. I've seen noise about people thinking Montreal will take a step back. Not there yet, but I got to pick right now if Detroit's in or out for the playoffs. Right?
Okay. What are you thinking?
I'm switching my pick. Detroit's getting in.
Whoa!
Hockeytown's back. Hockeytown's back in the middle of the ice.
Is that what it says?
You think Dylan Larkin and Yzerman are gonna bond?
I think Raymond's so nasty. I kind of like forgot that he's on that trajectory.
Yeah, you didn't even say his name.
Biz just
I
did.
think it's just
Biz
obvious.
Just did.
I just did. He's 23 years old, and I think he's a 40 goal guy.
Yeah. A dog on the ice too, like not a soft player. He's like in the mix. You always see him in scrums, in front of the net. That's where you score goals, Biz. That's what I tell the kids. You want to score goals, you go to the front of the net, right?
Yeah.
I think I'm with you, Whit. I'm with you. I think they get in. They address the goaltending situation. You look at their like Unit 1 power play. Like, that's a lethal power play unit. Like, Raymond, Larkin, Kane, DeBrincat, Seider. That's a lethal power play.
Okay, so currently you have 4 teams in now, you guys, right?
I got everyone in the league
and
in,
then we
except for
got
Buffalo.
Ottawa and Montreal still remaining.
Yeah, and I don't love the Metro at all. They get 3
The
spots.
Metro's dog shit, but
Metro's
those are
dog
easy
shit.
points.
Yeah, you're right. I got to be careful here. I got to be careful
Better
here.
be careful.
It actually has to be Detroit or Montreal. And I guess no, not necessarily though.
Sorry to cut you off, Jens.
No, Biz, you make a good point.
No, you do. Yeah, you make you think a little bit. I got Detroit in. I'm not listening to you, Biz. I got Detroit in.
All right.
Okay.
And
Do you want
Montreal.
to change your mind?
I might, but I have, we're still recording right now. As long as this episode's live and we're sitting here chatting it up, I can switch that. That's
Okay.
Do whatever you
You
want.
have till the end of the pod. All right, fair enough.
Ottawa boys. I watched the
nasty.
first, I think it was the first episode of the Amazon Face Off. Brady, God, that guy.
How much do you love that guy?
I know. And him getting the taste of the playoffs after the Four Nations when he was the clip where Kachuk says something like, "This is what big games feel like, Brady," in the locker room, and he's like, "I love these games." And then he got him in the playoffs. Biz's Leafs took care of him, but I like the team. I mean, I don't see a ton of change there, Biz, but you think that they could continue to even get better than
I
they
think
were
they're going
last
to be better than last year.
Okay. All right. You're sitting
100%.
there. All right.
I love him. I love that Zetterlund pickup last year. I think he's going to continue to be a good asset for them. I love their middle of the ice. Lars Eller, who is going to be playing 4th line center, it looks like. They got the Pinto Parlay at 3rd line center, that handsome bastard. Dylan, the Norris and Cousins swap was a game changer for me. I love that for Cousins, right? I think that he's got way more to give on a team that is playoff bound, and it's not really sucking the life out of him. And you saw, and he's willing to fight for his teammates. You saw him drop the gloves. I believe it was in preseason last year, or maybe it was the year before. Like, he's a fucking gamer. Timmy Stützle, I think he's a 100-point player this year. I think Timmy Stu is going to be on a rocket ship, and then they're fucking strong on the wings, man. They got guys like David Perron, Stanley Cup champion. He's a power play specialist, absolute gamer. Yeah, is he maybe lost a half a step? Who gives a fuck, dude?
Still
he's
a
got
gamer.
He's got the brains. Kachuk.
The third line listed is sick.
That Ridley
Yeah.
Gregg kid's a piece of shit. I fucking love him. And then you got, you know who they followed up with on the left side on the 4th line? Another
Cuzzo.
piece of shit, Nick Cousins. They got a lot of fucking that whole left side, man. Brady, Kachuk, Perron, Ridley Gregg, and Cousins. Those guys are a fucking pain in the ass to play against. And then you got Sanderson, who's a year more mature. I thought that Zub kid, I love him. Good shutdown guy. And then that Jensen, a very underrated pickup that they got from Washington a few years back. And then Shabbat, man. I think Shabbat slotted in perfectly on that left side now as that 4th guy, really, on that back end. He doesn't need to be the main guy offensively. So overall, and then they got Ullmark. We know what Ullmark can bring. I know that there was a period of time last year where the fans were getting a little bit frustrated when he started shitting the bed, but he found his game, and I think that will continue. This is 100%. I'm putting my Biz stamp of approval. I actually think that all 7 Canadian teams are going to make the Stanley Cup playoffs this year. You got the Biz stamp of approval right there. 100% guaranteed Ottawa's in.
So you got wow. All right. So you got the 3 Atlantic, and then you have Ottawa. You do not have Detroit, and then I presume you're taking Montreal to get in again.
Well, listen, that's the one that I'm a 50-50, but once we get the double barrel
stamp of approval.
You just
I
stamped
gave
it.
I gave it for Ottawa, but I'm going to listen to what Eric Engels has to say. Give Montreal the double wrister, and I'm sure he's going to solidify my answer in the fact that every Canadian team will be represented in the Stanley Cup playoffs this year. Oh, Canada!
Last thing
Vancouver.
about Ottawa, I love their left side. That monster Clavin, remember him in that series against Toronto? He's a mutant, right?
Cliff.
And then that Jordan Spence from LA is pretty good. So, and this Sanderson kid is disgusting. He's unbelievable to watch. And Biz, yeah, they're a hell of a team. I have them getting in. I guess looking at the 3rd line of Pinto, Parlay, Giroux, and Ridley Gregg, whether that ends up being it or not, like if that was it, if you have the top two lines producing and then they're coming at you, that's pretty sick. So what does Allmark have? Keith, in or out?
I got them in, and until watching that Amazon Prime thing last night and seeing the taste in the mouth that Brady Tkachuk has, and Sanderson as well. Like, he came in late to that Four Nations tournament, right? He only played 2 games, I think, right?
Yeah, played. Yeah, no, was it just the final?
Did he just play in the final? But like, he's another guy. I've been told by Hall of Fame players that he is going to be a Norris Trophy winner one day. Like you said, Biz, he's going to take that next step this year, running the power play, being the number one guy, being hungry to make the USA team. I love this team. I think they're going to have a whole lot of snarl in their game just because of what Brady Tkachuk, you saw with him on the Amazon doc. Like, this guy, all he wants to do is win hockey games, be a piece of shit on the ice, and then be the best dad in the world at home. Like, he's got it figured out. Like, I love him. Couldn't be more excited to watch this team, actually. Like, they look like they're going to be playing hard for 82 games, and I do. I got them in.
All right. I think it's time to go over to Montreal then and bring in our guy, Eric Engels. This guy loves the Habs.
We should run a disclaimer for this guy,
yeah, this
too,
is
though.
Disclaimer, Pasha style.
This is Gary Lawless territory.
Stand up. He's got his Demidov undies on.
I got my Albu Brothers t-shirt on.
What's going on, Eric? How you doing?
You guys are hilarious.
You look like you're in better shape, Eggs. You've been chucking the weights?
Yeah, a lot of pickleball.
Fucking rights, buddy. You're ready to go. You're ready for another season of playoffs, aren't you?
Yeah, we'll see what it does to me.
Let's talk about this team. You were one of the few people in media who basically guaranteed that they were going to make playoffs last year. You must feel the same way after everybody's a year more mature. Martin St. Louis had a little bit extra time to work his magic there. Where do you feel this team lies heading into this season?
Yeah, well, going back to last year, I made 2 predictions and I was 50% right. One of them was a kind of joke prediction that they would make the playoffs because I figured they'd be around 2 points in or 2 points out. And that's just exactly where they ended up. And I figured I'd be the only genius who would say that they'd be in if they made it. The other prediction was they'd finish ahead of Ottawa, and that ended up being dead wrong. Although it was close for a long time there. Coming to this year, I just see a more mature group for the Montreal Canadiens, driven by Marty St. Louis. They said all along since Jeff Gordon and Kent Hughes came in here that a rebuild is never linear, that development is never linear. The one thing that's been extremely linear is the way Martin St. Louis has laid the path for the Canadiens to become a team that understands how to win games. And I think when you go through that experience of this young core growing together and they understand all those elements that go into it, playing kind of a riskless game, they've got enough skill to take advantage of their chances. They become a less fun team to play against and understandably have started to figure out what it takes to win games. And it took really falling on their faces to start last season. They had the worst record the first 6 weeks of the season. And I think it reinforced St. Louis' point to them that, like, you're not going to do this running and gunning and trying to outscore teams. They're going to crush you. And that happened several times on home ice, which is not what you want to see happen at the Bell Center. You definitely don't want to be on the other side of that as a player. And I think they learned their lessons and grew up together. I see a lot of kids in this camp, that they're in that age range of 23 to 25 that it really feels like they've grown up. Like Arbor Jackeye is like number one guy on that list for me. Kirby Doc is another guy, obviously 2 injury plagued seasons, but he's like grown up a lot, matured off the ice. And I think that is probably the biggest reason to believe in them this year. That said, you guys were just talking about the Atlantic Division and how crazy it is. Nobody even mentioned Buffalo. Detroit.
Oh, we did.
Yeah,
we did. They suck.
I came in late. I came into the conversation about Detroit and whether or not they'd make it. I think I'd have Montreal and Ottawa ahead of them. But who knows? They've got some unheralded young defensemen in Detroit that I think are going to make some noise this year.
All right. I think a guy who could make an enormous difference is Bolduc, because you see in St. Louis had a nice year, and it was actually one of those perfect deals where Montreal could use a young scorer, and St. Louis needed a young defenseman, and Logan Mailloux goes there. It makes total sense. Do you think Bolduc gets top 6 minutes? Do you think he is a guy that can get 25 goals? And I guess it depends on his power play usage. Like, where do you see him fitting in there? Because that's getting a guy who's already proven he could score in the NHL. He's a French kid, so, that can sometimes hurt him a little bit if he isn't playing well, I think. But it could also kind of elevate his game and his status in the city if he is lighting it up.
Yeah, I think he's a great addition for the Canadiens in that he scored 19 goals as a rookie in this league, and he's 22, and he fits right in with the core of this team. The other thing is, aside from the fact that he can put the puck in the net, especially from the bumper position on the power play, he plays with some balls. Like, it's not like the Canadiens were the toughest team in the league last year. We saw what happened when they ran into Washington, and, you know, I think they stood their ground in the end, but those first couple of games, they practically got ran out of the rink. So adding a guy like Bolduc who plays a direct, hard style of game, you know, they could use him and they could use more of that. And I think that's why Florian Jacki got such a long look in this training camp. He proved that he's not that far off from playing in the NHL, and he's much closer to it than anybody would have assumed when he was drafted 101st overall as an overager. So I think when you look at those types of players, and that's like the complementary piece to what this young, talented group needs. And I really like what I saw from Bolduc, because each day goes along. I think you guys know what it's like to join another team and learn a new system and learn new line mates and be in a new market and all that stuff. And I think it's particularly challenging to do when you're young in your career. But the progression I saw from him through camp, and he suffered a little minor injury that I don't think will prevent him from starting the season on time. You could see towards the end of the last game that he played, like he was showing exactly what type of player he is, and that to me is a player that's going to really going to help the Canadiens.
My biggest question for the Canadiens going in is goaltending, but Dobish, is that how you say it? Dobish? He's been amazing all camp, no? Like, is he a guy, is he going to get more playing time? He wasn't great last year. He's a big guy, athletic guy. Like, if he can give you 30, 40 games and play well, that's a huge advantage for you guys.
Well, Montembeault's pretty much got the net, right?
Montembeault's got the net. Dobish started his career with, I think it was 5 wins in a row against like Florida and Colorado. He's part of that heater that the Canadiens were on post-Christmas, where they had this insane road trip where they played the last 4 Stanley Cup champions and beat them all. And they lost. The one game they lost on that 5-game trip was to Chicago, and they put up like 44 shots on net. Probably should have won that game. I'll just say Dobish had an electric start and then, you know, regulated a little bit. He's a little all over the place. He's super competitive though. He's a battler. I think guys like to play for a guy like that. And it's kind of the perfect position for him to come in. He didn't allow a goal in preseason. I don't think that's predictive of anything, but it shows that, you know, he was coming in with a bit of a battle with Kakkonen coming in behind him. And it was like, hey, you're just a kid. We can send you down without waivers. You better show it. And he did. And he's got a great like attitude about him. He's got some, how would I put it? Like he's got swagger. He's got swagger, the kid. And to be able to push a guy like Montembeault, who has really progressed year over year with the Canadiens, I think that only helps. Montembeault's proven to be a really solid goalie. He was a guy who, when he came to Montreal, people were like, this guy's not an NHL goaltender, to a year later, those same fans were begging for him to become the starter. So I think they've got a good mix in net. Behind them, they got Jacob Fowler, who I think might be one of the best goaltenders not in the NHL, and he's going to get some key professional experience. And even with Kaapo Kakkonen coming in, he had a great run with Florida's minor league affiliate all the way to the Calder Cup finals last year. He's got some NHL experience as a safety net to bring Fowler along in the AHL, but also if you have a bit of a lag for a guy like Dobish and he doesn't step up and play those 35 games or whatever it is, you know, he could be down in the minors and Kakkonen could be coming back up. So I think it's good depth that they didn't otherwise had they not made that move.
I think the Mailloux trade makes a lot of sense, probably knowing they were going to try to get Noah Dobson. I guess maybe I was a little surprised because I feel like at least early in his career, I don't want to say one-dimensional because that insults his defensive game, but maybe a lot more upside offensively than defensively, and don't really know how that works in with the power play situation, considering you have Lane Hudson. How do you feel like that's going to impact the team? And did you like that move, bringing him in and paying him what they paid him?
Yeah, it's like you said, Biz. They knew they were getting Dobson. You're trading from a surplus position on the right side of your defense to go get something that you desperately need up front. It's not like the Canadiens are a complete team up front, even with Demidov playing the full season this year. Bolduc comes in, brings those elements that we talked about before. Mailloux, I think, is on his way to a very solid career in St. Louis. I think he needs that runway to be able to prove that his floor is at the right place so that you can play him enough. And I think that's going to take some games. Like, you're going to have to allow him to make a few mistakes. And so he builds up the feeling as though those aren't going to have him parked on the bench. And I think a guy like Jim Montgomery is only going to help him. He's got snarl in his game. He's got edge. He's a good kid who went through a lot of things, prior to arriving in Montreal and really grew up and was forced to grow up. He missed a lot of game time because of his situation, but also injuries. And, when you had Reinbacher coming up on the right side for Montreal, and you've got Dobson in, and you've got Gouli there, and you've got Jacky and Alex Carrier, you're trading from a surplus to be able to address a need. And I think, you look at the Canadiens defense, I talked about the maturity level of that young core and that being a main reason to believe in Montreal's playoff chances. Look at the defense. Like, you have Matheson and Dobson, you've got Hudson and Gouli, and on your third pair, you've got Jacky and Carrier. And Jacky, for me, is the standout of this camp. Like, he has become, his camp was so good in the way he played. He's way faster, way more mature, processing speed a lot quicker. A similar kind of process defensively that he's gone through that Mayu will have in front of him now, because he's not the same, but he's got some of those elements. He can fight, he can do all the physical stuff, and he can really play. So, like, Alex Carrier, like, I don't know what the hell happened that he ended up in Montreal on a trade that nobody had on the radar for Justin Barron. That guy, if you put him as a number 4 on 3/4 of the teams in the league, he's not just like there. He's a good one. So that defense is deep. It's good. Jaden Struble starting on the outside, looking in, like, he's a solid NHL defenseman. That's a big reason to believe the Canadiens could continue on the path they started on last year.
But just go back to the Dobson, how do you think that's going to work out offensively? Like, he's typically an offensive defenseman. Like, how many reps will he actually be getting on the power play when you have a guy like Lane Hudson? And Whit was also wondering, why didn't he sign? Like, why, you see like a guy like Luke Hughes sign, you see Jackson Lacombe. Why didn't Lane Hudson ink a contract?
Or would you have offered him 8 times 9?
I think it's a very reasonable deal for Lane Hudson at this stage. Like, I think there's a lot of fans are like, pay him whatever he wants. Like, he's amazing. He is amazing. Does anybody deny the fact that he's amazing? He had 66 points, tied Larry Murphy for the record for NHL defenseman as a rookie. He's an incredible player. The thing is, the way the NHL works is when leverage is on your side, you get a great deal. And when it's not on your side, you're offered that type of security, I think it's a great deal that would set him up if it's 8 times 9 and that's where it ends up. If it's 8 times 9.1, if it's 8 times 8.9, whatever it is, like, I think that's a reasonable place for Lane Hudson to end up. He gets a ton of bank, and when he comes out of that contract at 29 years old, he's going to sign one of the most lucrative contracts in history if he stays healthy. And if he doesn't, well, he'll have set up 10 generations of his family. It is a negotiation. Like, that's how it goes. You asked me about Dobson, Biz, the power play spread. Like, I think the Canadiens are just happy to finally have 2 units. Like, a year ago, if you looked at their second unit, I think they got 3 or 4 goals out of that for the entire season. Now, you've got a unit where Dobson and Laine are playing, and you've got another one where Hudson, Demidov, Caulfield, and Suzuki are playing, and you've got guys like Gallagher and Doc and Newhook and Bolduc, and there's a mix there where if you're not going on any given night, you may not be the first power play unit. It's almost equally weighted. Laine had 15 power play goals last year, and I think, we've seen some signs. We saw some negative signs, but we've seen some signs that the 5-on-5 game might come up a bit for him, which would enable him to gain the confidence to be able to contribute not just on the power play. So we see how it goes.
We talked about it earlier. Like, there really isn't that many second unit power plays. The majority of the teams, the first unit's taking a minute 20. You're getting the puck, it's getting sent down. You're getting 20 seconds maybe on this. So I think a lot of it's going to have to be with Dobson being okay with that, Biz, and like not getting pissed off and being like, why am I not on the first power play?
That's where it's a little bit difficult, because like you're acquiring a guy where that's part of why you're getting him, but then yet he's not able to get the reps as to what you're kind of paying him for, right? So that to me was where the question mark was, where what they have in Lane Hudson, and then why you would acquire Noah Dobson. Like, that's assuming though they're paying him because they expect him to be a little bit better defensively and a little bit more well-rounded. Is that Is that the case? Have they talked about maybe where he was defensively, or are they not concerned about that?
Listen, I think it's a fair question. I'm wondering, when do you guys air this? What time on Monday do you air this?
6 a.m.
Tomorrow morning, 6 a.m.
Yeah, okay. By the time this airs, it will not have happened, but I'm sitting down with Marty St. Louis tomorrow. So I'm going to ask him what he's looking for as far as a dynamic is concerned on the power play and how he keeps everybody. Like, you guys know the dynamic within a room better than anybody.
It's hard keeping everybody happy, right? A lot of mouths to feed.
But if you got paid, if Dobson got that money, and at least for him, he's not on the first power play. Once you're paid, I don't feel like it bothers guys as much. Maybe I'm completely
You still
wrong
want to
on
live
that.
up to it, though. You still want to live up to the money you get paid.
Let's go to the other side, and you're exactly right, Jens, because if you're Noah Dobson and you just took the most expensive contract in Montreal and you come over here and you're coming off not a down season, but a season that was down for a 70-point season year before that. Like, you think Montreal fans are extremely patient with guys who make $9.5 million in year one of an 8-year deal? Like, he's got to get his opportunities. And St. Louis is a big believer that confidence is built on the power play. Like, it translates directly to how you're going to play at 5-on-5. I think, and I can't say for sure because I haven't sat down with him yet, I think the dynamic he wants to create is major competition and be like, you're throwing Suzuki, Hudson, Caulfield, Demidov on the ice. And if they're not sharp on like the first reps of the night, they're the second power play unit for the night. So ideally you get more than one power play in a game. But
I think Lane Hudson's old man will be fucking barking from the balcony if that's the case.
What about the tinfoil hat theory that you give Dobson a go, you hope the first power play lights it up, then the numbers aren't there, and then you're like, wow, on Hudson's deal, we might.
Hey, Lane.
Here's 5.
We're going to look at
tinfoil hat
an
theory.
Evangelista contract, little bridge.
All right, Engels. For a while now, there's birdies chirping that Montreal's like looked into trading for a second line center. If Kirby Dach, if he's able to put it all together and stay healthy, the poor guy, he came on our show, I think after his rookie year, great dude, dropping F-bombs, didn't give a shit. He's been crushed by the injury bug. Like every year it's something. So I like him a lot. I'm rooting for him. If he were to be able to live up to what you thought of him as a 19-year-old, maybe you're not hearing rumors of needing a second line center there. Would you agree?
I would say this about Kirby. I think Kirby is extremely motivated, and I believe in Kirby. I sat down with him at the beginning of the training camp because I wanted to talk to him and give him an opportunity to tell his story of what he's been through, right? He tears his ACL, MCL in the second game of a season where he looked like he was going to explode. And then he rehabs the whole thing, comes back last year, plays, 50 odd games and tears the ACL in the same knee. Like, if you could imagine what that's like mentally, let alone physically, it's had to have been unbearable. But when I said that, Jack Guy and the rest of the Canadiens and Kirby are guys that have really like grown up, he really learned from those experiences. I sat down with him last year in the middle of the year when he was struggling before he got hurt. And I just said, did you give yourself the best opportunity to have to come back from the ACL, MCL injury? Like, did you have the proper summer that would enable you, even though you knew you were going to lag at the beginning of the season, to get it together and refine your rhythm? And he said, no, like I just didn't treat it the way I needed to. And he came back on that when I sat with him at the beginning of this training camp and said, I learned a lot from that. He also learned, and this is something probably for Alex Barkov to keep in mind because he just tore his ACL, MCL. Kirby said that from weeks 8 to 14 in his first rehab, he felt physically good enough to start pushing it again. And that was a critical time for healing to happen and not be pushing it. There's a certain fusion that needs to happen with a knee reconstruction that if you push it at a certain point in that rehab from the weeks 8 to 14, you're risking that area not strengthening the way it needs to. And that happened to him the first time, and it slowed down his rehabilitation, his ability to train properly in the summer and get back to what he wanted to be. So he learned from that the second time. He took it easy during those weeks. He pushed extremely hard during the summer. He's in the best shape that he has been in since he came to Montreal. If he plays with the types of guys that he's set to play with right now, and it should be, I think, Zach Balduke and Brendan Gallagher to start, they're two direct guys to give him an opportunity to find his timing back. Will he inevitably end up with Demidov? maybe even line A too. I think it's not dead. That's how camp started. It didn't look good in one game. They changed it up, but we'll see. Now, the other side of your question, and sorry to be so long-winded about it, is what's going to happen with Sidney Crosby. Now, I'm a believer that Sidney Crosby can end up in Montreal.
Wow. I think if he played anywhere, it would be Montreal, Engels. Wow.
I believe the Canadiens
Clip it, G.
would love to make it happen. And I believe that anybody else that's in the race for Sidney Crosby can't necessarily give up as much as the Canadiens would to take care of Pittsburgh. But two things need to happen. One, the Canadiens need to be good. And two, the Penguins need to be really bad. So we'll see where that goes. I think regardless of what happens with Kirby this year, or Alex Newhook, who's in that kind of middle six opportunity, same as Kirby is, if Sid's available, I don't think either of those guys are going to be like, no, I got this. Like,
Yeah.
Hey, the headline, Biz, is Crosby for 2C in Montreal. They got their second line center.
yeah, I don't know if we'd label him 2C here.
I don't discuss the Crosby rumors. I've put myself above that.
I have one theory on Crosby and why he'd stay in Pittsburgh, and it's got nothing to do with the loyalty factor. Like, this guy's used the same jockstrap for his entire career. He's like wearing the same crusty hat since he got drafted.
I agree. It's what his hockey DB looks like.
Is he looking to upend his entire routine and then use, like, maybe he could wrap his mind around it for the opportunity to not only like chase winning again, but do it in a place where he is a god. He's already a god in Pittsburgh, but he would come to Montreal and not just be on the bandwagon of a Stanley Cup contender. He would be a huge part of driving that with a guy like Ivan Demidov next to him. And I think you guys have an idea of what that player is going to look like. If you don't, you might want to tune into some Montreal games this year.
Ooh, some fucking big words.
Speaking of Demidov, I heard him and what's his name there? Kapanen. I heard they've had some crazy, like, they look unbelievable together. You think we'll see them together at any point? I know it's two young guys to put on a line, might not be able to do it, but I heard their connection is off the charts right now.
Yeah, I don't know if it's off the charts, but they're going to start together. Playing with Newhook. Kapanen is like a super heady 22-year-old kid, grew up in the Swedish league and put up some big points there. His play away from the puck is much more mature than 22 years old, which is the reason why he made this team before the final game was even played, to the point that St. Louis was like, I don't need to see this line again. Like, we're good. Pretty rare to have that happen in a training camp, let alone in a place like Montreal, where the expectations are always up and up and up. That kid's a really smart player. He has great abilities with the puck, but to be able to execute it at this level, he needs the repetition. So it's still, the jury's still out, because their camp was so competitive that some of the kids they sent down, whether it's Owen Beck or Florian Jacki, who brings a totally different dimension to the game. Like, if Kapanen stumbles out of the gate, I'm not sure how long his runway will be. Like, that's kind of the competition and depth that's been created in Montreal. And I still think, though, the kid plays a great two-way game. He's got a really good head for the game. And if his touches become more confident, which I don't see why they wouldn't, playing with a guy like Demidov, who's going to put him in those positions, I think he'll be here to stay.
My last one is, you gave us two hot takes last year and we're right on one of them. What are your three Montreal hot takes for this season?
He just gave the one, Crosby.
Well, no, aside from that, we don't talk the rumors on this podcast anymore.
We do.
I don't.
That's from a man who's created thousands of them, Eric.
Yeah.
I'm a new man.
It's not really a hot take to suggest Demidov's going to win the Calder, is it?
Back-to-back for the Canadiens.
Back-to-back never happened.
After not having a Calder winner in Montreal since Ken Dryden, rest in peace, Lane Hudson wins it and Demidov becomes the second guy. I guess we could qualify it as hot take, right? There's some good competition for Demidov.
I think that's a big-time hot take. I love it. I love it. Okay.
I wouldn't say it's a big time.
It's warm.
I think
It's warm.
One favorite. It's practically a cold take.
It's warm.
Okay.
Warm take, Biz.
Yeah, he's plus 185 to win it.
I'll take Montreal in the playoffs over Detroit, Buffalo, and I can't put them ahead of Ottawa this year, unfortunately.
Okay. That's a semi-lukewarm hot take as well.
Sens fans will have to wait to roast me. Yeah, but like, look at the East. Like, are Jersey and New York going to miss the playoffs this year after last year?
I don't think so. Who will be Who will have the most amount of goals for the Montreal Canadiens this year?
Cole Caulfield.
Cole Caulfield.
No question about it.
Does he make the U.S. Olympic team?
I think the U.S. Olympic team, it's pretty hard to move anybody out of place from what we saw at Four Nations, but I think their emphasis on size hurts Cole. The one thing I would say is when the scouting was done before the tournament, last time around for the Four Nations, like Cole was firing the puck into the net, but his complete game wasn't where we expected it to be based on the development he had the year prior. His second half of the season, like if you watch this kid play, it was not just about the goals. He really plays a complete game and he wins most of his puck battles for a guy who's undersized. I think if he starts that way this year, he gives himself the best opportunity to be on the best version of Team USA ever. Like, it's a hell of a team to try and crack. I think if he doesn't make it, it's just because they're obsessed with the size factor. And I don't blame them for being that way, because I think we know, what wins when it comes to must win type of hockey. I just think Cole plays a lot bigger than he is. And if it were me picking the team, I would give him a really serious look.
Rookie of the Year odds, just quickly. Demidov plus 185. The next closest is Zeev Buium at plus or 12 to 1. So Biz, not really a hot take. I think everyone kind of thinks he's going to get it done. Snuggerud's also 12 to 1. Misa's 14 to 1. Isaac Howard 16 to 1. Oh, and Pasha's boy Gritsu 40 to 1.
The hot take is if the Canadiens are good and the Penguins are bad, Crosby comes here and the Canadiens finish ahead of the Leafs in the standings.
Oh, you fucking asshole.
You got that one.
You've been chucking weights and playing pickleball. Now you're getting fucking tough, eh? All right, you keep my fucking Leafs out of your goddamn mouth. All right?
I thought he doesn't talk about the Leafs, Whit.
No, never.
Eric, what about how long of a leash do you think Line has? Because you saw it towards the end of the year. Last year, he's got scratched a little bit, not on the power play. Like, how long do you think his leash is?
Short. Listen, this guy put up 20 goals last year. He blew out his knee in the first preseason game he played. He went through a lot. He fell back in love with the game. He had a good summer, an NHL summer, a summer where you're on the ice a lot and you're working out in the gym. It's what you expect of a player who makes a good amount of money and has the type of talent he has. The game for him needs to be simplified. He needs to play it directly. He needs to play it within the construct of what St. Louis expects to see from his team. It's making ordinary, simple plays. Marty's been talking about it ad nauseum. Like, make the simple plays, do the ordinary things so that you get the opportunity when you get the opportunity to be extraordinary, you can take advantage of it, but you're not hurting our team. Like, the way this team has to run right now, based on where they've come to in their development and what's expected of them in this city, you can't be coloring on your own page. You can't be doing it your own way. Like, you play the way the team needs you to, or you don't play. And I think that message was already sent to Patrick Laine in this training camp. He went from a line with Kirby Dach and Ivan Demidov to one playing with Joe Veleno and Owen Beck. I'm not sure where he's starting the season. We've got some practices to go. And I believe, based on some of the actions I've seen from Laine on the ice, that the message has been received. If he plays the right way, if he plays the simple way, if he gives the puck to what will be elite playmakers, if he plays with a guy like Demidov and gets himself in a position to shoot it, he's going to be just fine. No one expects that he's going to be the best 5-on-5 player on the team, but he's got to do the non-negotiable parts of the game in order to get that ice time. And then, he's unbelievable on the power play. I mean, who's going to take anything away from what this guy can do on the power play? He's absolutely elite. And having a right-handed shot like Dobson passing it to him, or having Hudson and his creativity, or Demidov and his creativity to suck guys in and then throw it over to his side. If he shoots it, if he gets a clean look, you don't even need a scream. He's going to score. So play the 5-on-5 game and you'll get your chances on the power play. But that leash is going to be short, and not just for him, for every player on this team.
Eric Engels, hot take of the century. Crosby took the Canadiens and finishing above the Leafs. Thank you very much for coming on. We'll catch up with you soon for sure. And they are a fun team to watch. I love watching games at the Bell Center, so that won't change. We'll see you later.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't know how great the Canadiens will be this year. I know they're going to be super entertaining, and I think we're going into an era where they're going to be one of the, if not the most compelling team in Canada, because what they'll have going on with Ottawa as a rivalry is going to be incredible. they'll be right there. So it's fun times ahead for Montreal fans, I think.
All right.
Let's go, baby.
Love it.
Thank you so much.
I mean, yeah, it doesn't even mention the Leafs in terms of rivalry. Just brings up the Ottawa rivalry.
Well, probably because of what happened in preseason.
Guys, I'm as of now, I'm going with Detroit over Montreal. I'm sticking.
He might have made me flip.
Well, yeah. If Crosby gets traded there, we can replay this. We can edit it, and we can have those guys getting in. That would be a wild, wild day on the internet if Sidney Crosby went to the Montreal Canadiens. Biz, did you end up getting out to see Gavin McKenna live?
I didn't. No. I drove 3 straight days, and I was pretty tired, especially on Thursday night. I slept in my car. I slept in my car for 4 hours. Yeah, I had a haircut booked, and it was the only one I could get in before I go on TNT, and I needed to like clean myself up. I had a full fucking beard and tough salad. So I had to get to see my guy, and then I was just tired. And then I figured I'd just keep up online, and everything is advertised. I mean, holy shit, man. He can make plays under pressure, so calm. Just the way that he positions himself in the offensive zone, where he just, even that pass he made over to the far side guy who ended up scoring that goal, like just a little touch, right? It wasn't much. The one play on the power play, he didn't even end up getting an assist on. He was like the left pointman, and he has a guy coming barreling down on him where, I would have fired it down the wall the minute that guy started getting his boots going towards me. And then the guy ends up stopping up a little bit, and he didn't panic. He just makes a little play down on the half wall to the next guy, and they ended up going tic-tac-toe into the back of the net. So just very, very impressive, and a couple nice apples on the Friday game, and then ends up getting the game winner on Saturday with under 2 minutes left on that power play on the far side. So remarkable young talent. And I loved the chippiness from him. I'd never seen any clips of him joshing at fans in junior. I think in junior, he was the top dog, where people just more came to watch him play and marveled at him, where you get these college crowds with these college kids, and they know that he's got a target on his back. So they're just fucking chirping him nonstop. Overrated. So he fucking gave it right back. The same way I talked about Rory McIlroy shoving it up all the fucking Americans fans' hoops. Gavin McKenna came to ASU and at the Mullet Arena left giving the double barrel just like Rory did. So shout out to Gavin McKenna. Everything is advertised in the first 2 games, and I hope he continues his success, and he will be first overall pick.
I'm very curious, Keith, quickly. Where were you parked when you slept in your car? Like a truck stop?
Very good question.
No, just like you pull over, there was like a road on the side of the highway.
Front of the Ritz.
No, it was just more about how like I ran out of time. Like I knew I had to be back to Arizona for 9:40. So it's like, why would I bother? And by the way, like where I am on the highway, there's like once you get to a certain point, it's like near Page, Arizona, like a little past that, you're kind of like in the middle of the desert.
That ride's a nightmare.
It's a bit of a nightmare. So I just figured, I'll pull over, sleep for 3-4 hours, and then get up and then power through. So I ended up getting home just in time to get to my haircut.
Your guy couldn't have pushed your haircut back a couple hours?
No, like he's booked up solid. Like he's just like, I mean, what time you got available? And like, I don't expect him to work around me. It's just like, hey, what time do you have available? 9:40. Be here then. Okay, see you then. So.
No, I know you would never expect it, but if you were like, hey, do you have noon or anything? I bet you he'd help you out.
Right.
But Biz,
yeah,
that would have that kind of freaked me out a little bit, I think. Solo in my car off the highway in the middle of the desert.
Well, yeah, you lock the door. You lock the door. You don't fucking leave the door unlocked. Come on,
you had the windows down to save money.
I know you locked the door.
No, I slept in the cab in the back. I put a blow up mattress back there.
Used his shirts hung up as his blanket.
I drove through Bozeman and then stopped in Jackson for a night. That was nice. I got to see my neighbor there, and yeah, I love driving through there.
What'd you listen to most of the ride?
A lot of silence.
Thinking.
A lot of raw dogging. And
That's
then
crazy.
Oasis. I've been on an Oasis kick since playing with Con Man at the Chiclets Cup.
Con
He
Man
loves
them.
Oasis. Con Man
You've seen
went
him
to
7
the-
times.
No,
Oh, but
unless
they
he
haven't
saw him
played
before
together
this.
in years, right?
Yeah, they just
he went. he
this
went to
year
the-
he's seen them.
No, he's seen him 4. He went to the Toronto back-to-back shows, and he actually opened up. It went to the opening shows in Cardiff.
Yeah,
He went to their big rugby stadium there, which I've actually been. I went to a Samoa and Wales rugby game there,
That was probably a hell of an environment.
or maybe it was England, Samoa and England. It was awesome.
the crowd
it was
nuts?
awesome. Oh yeah.
Wait,
I
who
am
did you say
actually, like-
first? Samoa and who?
Wales.
I thought it was Samoa and Wales, but it was actually Samoa and England in Wales. That's where the game was hosted.
This was
but
those the All Blacks?
No,
that's,
Samoa.
New
The
Zealand.
Samoans are very close, but not. But a lot of the same. I think there's a decent amount of Samoans on the All
Okay.
Blacks, which is in New Zealand.
New
They those are the guys where
They do the haka.
you don't want to end up in a bar scrap against those guys.
No.
They are just built different. They don't need the coke to get coke tough either. They just have a couple pops and they are built like a brick shit house. They, what's the football thing where you do like in the hole where they just run at each other?
Yeah, you start on your. I think you do a push up or you roll over, do a push up, and then you collide.
Oklahoma drill.
I'd rather go head to head with my F-250 than go head to head with a fucking Samoan guy. Let's just put it that way.
Hey, speaking of football and bad, I guess bad being down real bad weekends. Did you see the Mark Sanchez story? Have you read this? Biz?
Very bizarre.
What
Very
the fuck
bizarre
is that?
what happened with that one. I don't know. And he obviously was probably pretty intoxicated. Did you read the story about how it all transpired?
I've read parts where
butt fumble?
I mean he attacked the Uber driver. I believe pepper spray.
It wasn't an Uber driver.
It wasn't an Uber driver.
So the story that I read was there's this guy who was driving a truck, and the truck was there to pick up the grease from the restaurant, like all the old grease.
Yep.
So the truck pulled up, and why he was at the back of this restaurant and concerning himself why the fact that this truck had pulled up and was parked there, I don't know. I don't know how many beers or how much alcohol he had. And keep in mind, maybe this story changes from when you guys hear me tell it to what ends up being the actual truth. But so he told the truck driver, like, hey, you can't park here. And then they kind of like verbally were kind of going at it where he's like, well, if I hear from the people who like run the business, then maybe I'll move the truck, but I'm here to do my job and I'm going to do my job. So he got in the passenger seat, and I think he started like trying to like do whatever. And at that point, the guy pepper sprayed him to get him off. And then that's when kind of shit hit the fan, where he ended up coming around the truck and Sanchez started like getting in his face. And at that point, the pepper spray obviously didn't work. And the guy ended up pulling out a knife because he was so scared that he's like, hey, this guy's a lot bigger than I am. And maybe he didn't realize it was Mark Sanchez. And so he stabbed him 3 times in the chest. And I think that Sanchez was just like shocked at the fact that Sanchez was like trying to get in the passenger side at that time or excuse me, the driver's side at that point, where what else was he going to do? Right. This guy was kind of coming at him. And then at that point he went to the hospital. He was in critical condition. They obviously stabilized him. And then Sanchez got arrested because he was in the wrong, drunk and disorderly, entering a vehicle that wasn't his, and like an assault. So
3 counts, right?
Just the fact of like coming to,
Why?
and you're in the hospital bed and you're stabbed 3 times. Then the police come in and read you your Miranda rights. You're just like, what the fuck? What was that guy doing? It's crazy, crazy
know.
story.
I don't know, but like you've made, what is it, $40-50 million playing football. You're doing like NFL commentary, and that's why you're in that city doing it, and you're there, and I don't know.
He liked that parking spot. He did not want anyone in that parking spot, I guess.
Yeah, but he's visiting that city. What the fuck does he care?
know.
It's so weird. It's so.
I know.
And once again, like this might all change by the time this podcast comes out. But if that is the story, I just like don't. Fuck, man.
Makes
Are
no
you
sense.
caring that much where somebody parks?
Oh, fuck. Well, back to the
hopefully
hockey.
he's all right. I mean,
you guys care about me parking on the side of the highway.
No, I was just
we're
more like,
worried about you dying.
we're worried about you
okay.
getting like something about married, like splitting a ride with a guy to help out you with the driving so you can make your shave appointment.
Biz Woganowski.
I got a whitehead on my eyeball. The Edmonton Oilers, boys, in the news. Chris Knobloch, well-deserved extension.
Yeah.
Well-deserved extension. Biz doesn't want to hear about the Oilers. We'll get to the Oilers in the Pacific preview. Also, Ryan Huska, he signed an extension with the Calgary Flames. They were right there. They shocked the world last year. Almost got in. We'll get into them with the Pacific Division. I don't know what. Eric Johnson, guys. What a career.
Yeah.
What a
I think
run.
he's been on with us a couple different times. Just an awesome dude. He announced his retirement. I mean, crazy. First overall pick. Has the freak accident where he tore his ACL like in a golf cart. But he ends up being a part of the trade over to Colorado. Played there forever. Won the Stanley Cup there. Played incredible hockey in the 2010 Olympics. I remember being there. I was like, he had just dominant shifts. So congratulations. What a run. What a run.
Yeah, unreal career. Max Pacioretty as well, retired.
Yes. Did you see him imitating Matthews?
That was hilarious.
So funny.
That was great.
Yeah,
Did he have a
need
fake
you need
earring
guys
in?
like that.
It looked like it. Unless
Probably.
he did it, unless he went full authentic method acting for the little show. He got his ear
Yeah,
pierced
Daniel
just
Day.
to imitate him.
But two guys that'll be in the USA Hockey Hall of Fame, in my opinion, great careers. Pacioretty at the top of his game was scoring at a clip. Captain of the Montreal Canadiens as an American. Yeah, great career on both of them. Eric Johnson, unbelievable guy, probably a better guy than a better player. So two amazing careers by two great Americans.
Love it.
Biz, Patches is also going to go. He's joining the University of Michigan. I think he's like a special assistant to the head coach. So all of a sudden you got him. I watched BU play, what was it, Saturday night. Cole Hudson, I think he had 2 goals, 2 assists. A couple of the assists to Yzerman. Very excited for BU season. But that about wraps it up. Long episode, long preview.
That was long. I'm dying here.
Long. I'm exhausted. So once again, the new Chiclets merch live in the Barstool Sports American and Canadian store. Check that out. Everything came out great. We're rocking the t-shirts. All of us have different ones on right now. Thank you so much for listening. We will see you back this week on Friday. Have a great beginning of this week. NHL's back.
NHL.